Flashing lights in the dark baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. Your TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. Your TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, tame speed. Data in the storm of a rush I need. Glitter to glow, touching in longer to the range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blade. The sound is wrong with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the run is wrong with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats round and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel through the breakneck roll. Sim racers down through the thunder soul.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Series race live from the Nashville Super Speedway for race number 6 of the 2026 season. And we are going short track style racing on a mile and a half here as we get our countdown to green going, presented by, of course, Icon Apparel Company, your apparel choice for the Nerd TV broadcast and the nerds themselves calling the action here this evening. Here's your race stats and your weather. You're on your bottom right-hand side of your corner of your screen. Air temp 73, track temp 84, almost no winds, and a nice crystal clear afternoon sky. Kind of setting off into the evening sunset here in the next hour in the sim time as it's approaching 6 o'clock server time. So we're going to see these lights turn on and get a little dusk happening over the track after we finish this thing over. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty. To my right hand side, he's back again, Jason Rockefeller, calling the action with me, and then Dustin Loxton pressing the buttons, flying the drones, and all that in between. Jason, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm ready to watch these guys tackle on the Nashville Super Speedway. It should be fun. Probably one of my favorite tracks, I'd say, in the sim and just in general, even to race on, whether it be on NASCAR 25, the sim, anything. This is a really fun track. I was talking to Dustin before the beginning of the broadcast, and I was saying it's like if you took Dover, obviously, because it was a Dover Motorsports Inc. Track prior to being owned by SMI. It's like if you took Dover and let it have a baby with Iowa. That's the best way that I could put it, or like just any mile and a half that's like early 2000s and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a fun time tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. Nashville is a very hit or miss track, and these Cup cars are a little more exciting to watch compared to last season, I think. So hopefully it produces an excellent show here. I know on our end the overlays and everything that Dustin's done this season has been fantastic. And Jason, there's more to come since the last time you've been live. There's a couple of little goodies there to look out for as I go through this broadcast. 150 laps. Nate Lesko back-to-back wins, going to put him top of the charts as we have 5 total winners, 1 multi-time winner with Nate. And he's on a little hot streak here. He's third fastest in practice, too. He might have a chance for that three-peat.
Yeah, he definitely obviously does. First multi-time winner after last week at Sonoma. Now he leads the point standings right here to your right-hand side of the screen over Braxton DeWeese by just 12. So not that big of a gap between 1 to 2, but to 3, that's where it starts to get a little bit dicey. So I feel like if you're anywhere between third on back, you're really going to have to try to maximize your points here tonight between the stage caution to get those stage points and obviously your finishing position here tonight. It should be a fun one. But Nate Lesko, definitely the guy that we all have to talk about coming in tonight. 2 wins in a row, back-to-back, obviously with Texas and now Sonoma. And this track races a little bit like Texas, Jeremy. You got those flat corners in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so you can kind of attribute them to 1 and 2 at Texas, which seemed to be the strong suit for Nate Lesko just a couple weeks ago. I expect him to be very strong here tonight. But overall, it should be a really good race. These Cup cars usually provide a really good show at Nashville. The last handful of years in real life, it's been awesome. And even on the sim, it's a great time. You can run bottom, you can run middle, don't want to go all the way high. But again, it's like that Dover 1.5-mile hybrid. It's a concrete racetrack, so it provides a little bit less grip, and you can really run both lanes through both ends of the racetrack. So this should be a really interesting race here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it here. We are qualifying, so we're going to go full screen as we're completing Christopher Cash's lap number 1 here. Head off into lap number 2. There's the Mustang from Blake Trawick. He's rocking that same paint scheme he's been rocking all season long. Let's see what he does here on his lap number 2. And Jason, cold tires here on this concrete surface. It's a little extra unforgiving. And these corners being so tight, you really just have to take it easy the first few. As he's actually going to back it down here on this lap number 2 to complete that. So that's going to put him overall. Actually, P3 is where I got. No, P2 for the 56 so far after the first 12 times being posted.
Yeah, and right now, Austin Wheeler holds the top spot with a 29.629. Only one to crack into the 6s. So here's Nick Kaufman in the number 95. We ride on board his machine as he rips it down into 3 and 4. You want to make sure you get the perfect arc here going down into the corner. Try to get down to that line. This is honestly kind of a perfect entry right there. Nearly a perfect exit, I would say, for sure. A little bit high and then through the tri-oval. Obviously, checkered flag for him. Nick Kaufman would drop all the way up to P2. So I was right. Pretty solid 1 and 2. And then down the back straightaway, setting it up for 3 and 4. Just a little bit higher exit than I probably assumed he would have wanted off turn number 4. But now we ride on board with Steve Harden, the 27, who's into turns 1 and 2, now entering the back straightaway.
As time still continuing to the post, got 20 currently left with 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in this qualifying session. And Jason, they were approaching 6 o'clock server time, but the qualifying session kicked it back to 5 p.m. So the track might be a little bit, or sorry, the temperature might be just a little warmer compared to the practice session. As this scheme right here from Wesco, this Nesquik Hooters throwback-ish, it's a fantastic looking car. I don't know if we can get a TV camera of it, but going for a 3-peat in this thing is looking stylish, man.
Yeah, obviously big-time throwback to Alan Kowicki, in the 90s with the Hooters paint scheme. I absolutely love the scheme. It looks so good, and it fits the Nesquik logo, too. It's always awesome to see when brands, can really make sure that their throwback schemes look and feel just like they did so many years ago. So to see Nate Lesko, incorporate that Nesquik car, into that Hooters paint scheme from Alan Kowicki so many years ago back in the day. It looks fantastic. I really like it. I'm excited to see the schemes that we see here tonight.
And he took the pole so far with that last lap posted. So out of the 22 times, Nate Lesko holds the top spot here. 53 seconds left in this qualifying session. We're watching new driver Jamel Love here in car number 11, the Denny Hamlin paint scheme. Going to post his time at a 29.695 here. 30 seconds left. We're going to take a quick moment, and for the second time on our broadcast, we're going national anthem right before the gridding of race number 6. And that was our national anthem here. Drivers are gridding, and I had to make a little quick notation. Race control accidentally set qualifying for 1 lap, not 2. That's why it looked like when I was mentioning Blake Traywick was going for a 2nd lap, he really wasn't, because he backed it down because it didn't count. It was a 1-lap qualifying session. So Nate Lesko does get that pole with a quick 1-lap heater, and here we go. Starting lineup for race number 6 of the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Series. Nate Lesko, P1, Austin Wheeler to his outside. In position number 2, row 2, Jamel Love there in car 11. 4th place to the outside, Nick Kaufman, car 95. Row 3, Braxton DeWeese in car number 8. To his outside, the Mustang, Blake Traywick, P6. 7th place belongs to Al Likens, and 8th place will be Brandon Finley. And to complete the top 10, Nick Biddy in 9th, Mitch Diamond in P10.
Rounding out your top 20, row number 6, you'll find Eddie Baker in P11, who's jumped up a significant amount of spots in the standings alongside Raymond Hanneman. Row number 7, you'll find Chris Cash there in P13 alongside Bryce Hedgecock. Row number 8, you'll find CJ Gates in the 42 and Bill Hannigan in the number 5. Row number 6 for P17 and 18, you'll find Clay Sampson and Dana Ryan. And then rounding out the top 20, in row number 10, you'll find Jeremiah Nelson and Steve Harden in the 27.
Then to complete the field here, 21st through 28th, you got Robert Hottenbach there in position 21. 22nd, Raymond Bell. 23rd place on row 12 is David Mayberry. Christian Marcelli in P24. 25th is going to be Tyler Bowling. And then the other Tyler Robertson, P26. And to complete the field lineup, Dylan Picklesheimer back there in 27th. Natasha Bedoin in 28th. The last 5 drivers here did not post time in qualifying. We're doing 1 lap here, so pace car is going to dip down. 3, 2, 1. There she goes, waiting for the restart zone to get race number 6 underway for the Music City Madness 150. Green flag. Green flag is in the air.
A great start here for Nate Lesko, but it looks like Austin Wheeler is going to be side by side with him, Jeremy, down into turns 1 and 2, and restarts are going to be so crucial along with track position all night long through 1 and 2. Lesko's going to have the upper edge off turn number 2 with the inside lane, some 3-wide action back behind them, but Wheeler and Lesko going to go side by side into 3 and 4.
Good battle still all the way through this entire field to complete the first lap here. Tight. Number 11 hits the wall. Jamel finds it early as Blake Traywick goes to the inside of him. Dead heat at the start-finish line. Nate Lesko by 3 1/1000ths of a second completes the first lap as your race leader.
And Jamel Love basically brushed the wall there off turn number 4, tried to save it and did, and came down all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Had Blake Traywick go all the way down to the apron. That's not something you want to do here at Nashville. It's so much tighter down on that apron than most 1.5-mile racetracks or 2-mile racetracks that you'll go to. So you got to be really careful with going down to the bottom. Nate Lesko, though, able to clear Austin Wheeler off turn number 4. Wheeler falls in line back to 1 and 2. Lesko on the brakes gives an opportunity for Wheeler to get back to him through 1 and 2. Not enough. It's about a half a car length gap now down the backstretch into 3.
Good racing through the field so far. Just a quick notation. Stage break happening on lap 46. The completion of lap 45 onto 46 will be stage break here as we're going to complete lap number 3. The 48, Austin drops back quite a bit. Really tight on corner exit. He's allow the 95 Nick Kaufman to pass on the outside of the front straightaway. He's going to clear Austin Wheeler into turn 1 and turn 2. But hold on, Austin trying to hold on, just can't do it on corner exit turn 2.
And Nate Lesko has gotten out to about a 2 to 3 car length gap over Kaufman and Wheeler through 3 and 4. This time by to complete lap number 4. Stage break will be at the end of lap 45. Lesko leads, Kaufman second, Wheeler third, DeWeese and Love round out the top 5. And now, Jeremy, everybody's starting to get single file here as we settle in here in this race.
Yep, everybody for the most part is single file here. 5.5 laps into the books here as we go boozy. Tipsy Cam flying for the first time in a week plus. This thing has got some new motors on it, and here we go. We're going to take a look at this just single file formation. As you see, Jamel Love is loving the turn 4 exit wall. It's the second time I've accounted for him hitting the wall. As we now fly forward, Dustin's not so much specialty. He likes flying backwards more than forwards, but I have to say he's doing a pretty good job right now. As we're in the turn number 3 here, he's flying just on the apron side. He's going to try to pass all the cars himself. You see Nick Kaufman there in car number 95. Quick 180, no scope here as we got a pass here within the top 10. Just a few spots behind this as Jamel Love does fall back behind once more to the 56. Blake Treywick into turn 1 and turn 2. Jamel gets wicked loose right there. Off of turn 2, brings it back up. He's going to lose that spot to the number 6 as well, to Al Likens. And that Ford Mustang that has the Brad Keselowski paint scheme here is now we're going to look right in front of them. Blake Treywick to the outside of the 94. Brandon Finley. This is a battle for position number 5. We got a little bit of a technical difficulty with a random shutdown there from Jason Rockefeller. His voice is off mic for the next few minutes minimum. As we're going to continue to rock here. Lap number 8 going on to lap number 9. Here's Braxton DeWeese, fan favorite on the YouTube side. Weezer 8 saying, let's get it, fellas. Let's go. The 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop Mustang, Braxton DeWeese. And we got 15 viewers on the YouTube side and 4 right now on the Twitch. Thank you guys for making about 20 viewers already here, just within the first 10 laps of this 150 lap event for the Music City Madness 150 at Nashville Super Speedway. Continue to run single file all the way through until you get to about 15th. There's some passing going on here mid-pack. You got Robert Hottenbach on the inside of the 42 CJ Gates. A couple more spots now for grabs up toward the front here. And this is about where you're going to see these tires start to overheat, maybe get a little loose, get a little tight. Positions might flop around this whole entire field here a little more frequently as you feel out the long run here this evening. 3 sets of tires behind the wall, plus the 1 current one on the car, so 4 total sets for race number 6, and that should hold true for every single 1.5 mile style of race here this entire season.
And Jeremy, one thing that we got to notate as well is, yes, I'm live on the mic, why our buddy,
hello,
Mr. Rockefeller, gets his stuff figured out there. Technical difficulties, it happens, but fuel, we got to talk pit strategy, my man. It anywhere from 48 to 52 laps. So our brand spanking new telemetry that we have, and we'll go on board with the Mustang here of Blake. Now that telemetry there, that is equating for roughly about a 50 lap run, Jeremy. So at the distance that we're going right now, which is 150 laps total here at Nashville Super Speedway, I mean, you're going to have to make a couple pit stops on it. It's not going to be like how we have before. Not going to really be able to stretch it too much to get it done, but tires are going to be a primo at this track for sure, just because of the abrasive surface. It's definitely something that's going to be wanted big time. So, but they should be good all the way through for this first stage, which, like you said, will end at the conclusion of lap 45. Fuel-wise, they should be good to make it to the end of this stage.
This one stage type of event here, 1/3 of the way through the race. Oh, caution, caution. Early on lap number 14. Here we got 2 cars sprint, the 24, Tyler Robinson in turn 3, and also the 26, Raymond Bell, who's got a lot of damage. That toe is way knocked out. Something wrong with the suspension. You see the 24 just body slams to the outside wall after he clobbers the 26, who initially, Raymond Bell, had the issue down the back straightaway off of turn 2. So we're going to go with the 26 here. Or at least right on the board with 24. Either way, they're going to make contact here in turn 3. Goes for the correction. The 26 turns down. Tyler Robinson, who already committed to the bottom. And that was it. Hard impact into that right front tire. And then just one more time for safe measures. Bam!
Yeah, and that was a wild incident. And I mean, the 24 I mean, it's tough. It is tough to try to determine where these cars are going to go. You see the looseness there coming off of the corner there by the 26 of Raymond Bell. Tries to correct it, sliding all the way down the stretch there, spins it. And this is where it gets tough because you see the tires are not locked up. The car is moving up the track. So the 24 Tyler Robinson sees that. But at the last second, Raymond Bell turns it down after the 24 had already committed, thinking he was going to go up the track. So again, Robertson was going to go low. And I mean, it's tough, Jeremy. I mean, you have a split second to make a decision on where the car you think is going to be, but you don't know or have any control over what that driver is doing. And this one here, I mean, Raymond Bell did the right thing. You know, he turned it back down to try to keep it off the track, but it was, you know, little too late there for the 24 Tyler Robinson. He had already committed.
Yeah, very wild moment there. I'm surprised the 26 was able to make that corner so sharply back to the inside portion of the track. 24 literally had no idea how to react to that. That's why he just drove straight into it. And it's going to bring the first caution out. So the second stint before the stage break should be roughly just shy of 30 laps, which will still give these drivers enough data to really figure out what the long run portion of this race is going to be on stage 2, because they go just around 100 laps if they can go from green to checkers, as I do believe we got Jason Rockefeller back.
I think I'm back. Am I back?
He's back.
I think I'm
we're
back. Yeah. Sorry. I had an issue, had technical difficulties. It does happen, unfortunately. I see that I missed our first caution of the night. But yeah, I don't know, man. Fill me in. I need to know what happened.
Let's go replay. This is a pretty wild wreck. Let's watch it back one more time as we get one more lap before we find the green flag to start this race off for the second time. And Nerd TV Rewind going to bring it back to the 24-26. Raymond Bell comes across the track. 24. Tyler Robinson tries to compensate and just slams into the left rear of the 26, breaking suspensions in both the 26 and 24.
Oh my goodness, I might need to see that one more time. Holy cow, I don't know how this happens right here. So, yeah, it looks like the 26 machine just loose off 2. This does happen on these concrete, tracks. We talk about lack of grip all night long so far. Round in the sleep token machine. You don't want to see that. That's a good band. Don't want to see a sleep token machine go around and sideways. And what in the Lord? Right into the back of the number 26 machine, hard into him. That car is definitely going to be done for the night. Both those cars for sure, no doubt about it. That's a hard hit, and that's a great scheme on the 24 machine. Tough deal for both drivers.
Yeah, Tyler Robinson looking like a Lucas Oil off-road truck here on the iRacing service. Can't do that in the oval stock car series. As here we go. Pace car back down on pit road. Going to fire this thing back off on lap number 18 as your race leader. Nate Lesko with a great start. Oh, Nick Kaufman with a big tire spin moment right in front of Braxton DeWeese. Going to check out that outside. First couple cars anyways. Going to allow Austin Wheeler to secure second place on that. There's the 94, Brandon Finley. He's going to take third momentarily. Can Nick Kaufman? Nope, he gets too tight. He's going to fall back in line. The top 4 single file. And number 6 still up for grabs here as he's trying to pass Blake Trawick into 3.
Yeah, you see the 6 car to the inside of the racetrack through 3 and 4. Big time tight here going through the corner. You see Trawick all the way on the outside and then through the tri-oval. Now everybody just scrambling for positions here as they work back down into turn number 1.
3 wide into turn number 1, turn 2. The 84 up the middle here. Still remaining 3 wide. Jamel Love up. They go back to 2 wide now. As Blake and now Jamel going to go side by side themselves into turn 3. This is going to bring in the 84 of Eddie Baker and the 65 of Mitch Diamond. Oh, a little moment there up at turn 4. Scattering across the front straightaway to complete lap number 19. Just another mention that we need to make. Natasha Bedoin did not start the race. DNS for her this evening. So 27 cars did make the attempt to start this race. We're back to 3 wide on the back straightaway.
And more technical difficulties there, so I'm going to hop in for our buddy Jason there. Yeah, 3 wide. This track has got the room for the 3 wide racing. It can definitely do the 3 wide, but we've already seen drivers get tight through there, and that's one thing you got to look out for is drifting up into the other drivers like that. It's so easy to be done. We got one into the wall here. That looks like it's going to be the 69 of Chris Cash, and he's going to collect the 65 of Mitch Diamond in this one. And our second caution, presented by iRacing iFlag, comes out.
Mitch Diamond in the 65, looks like gonna ship the 69. We're gonna see if it was one versus the other. Who was the blame? And 65 went wide on corner entry, and it looks like he wanted to drive down to the corner, Dustin, but his car skipped and did not have the front wheel grip. Maybe drove it in too fast, and it just slid into the rough rear of the 69.
Yeah, we're going to try to get a different angle here. And yeah, he went in. You seen the back end kick out a little bit as he was setting into that corner, Jeremy. So you're going to see it kick right there a little bit. And then he had to chase it ever so slightly up. And bad thing was that position and that spot on the track was held by the 69 of Chris Cash. Contact made. Chris Cash does some drift in there, Gymkhana style. Makes contact, but the force off of that wall shot him down, and he had to turn it back up to prevent collecting other cars. And unfortunately, the 65 of Mitch Diamond was right there.
Yeah, found each other twice between turn 1 and turn 2. That time around there, sir. Short runs is the theme here to start this thing off. 2 cautions and 20 laps here for the Music City Madness 150 at Nashville Super Speedway. Pit road is busy. We got at least 5 cars minimum on pit road this time around. Looks like a total of maybe 7 or 8, as they got the 3 tires to use. And I don't know if the stage 1, if you're gonna just, I guess, Austin, if you come in now and if you think you have a decent car, this is not the 65 or 69 because they're just getting damage fixed, right? But some of these other guys are coming down. Maybe they can slap on a good set of tires and pass some cars before they get to stage break.
Yeah, as Dana Ryan slides through his pit stop. But yeah, you're correct. Chris Cash, Mitch Diamond, we know that they are coming down for repairs on pit road right now. We'll bring that up just to kind of give you an idea once pit stops are done by virtue of the AI Chief patch-up report that we have. But yeah, I mean, it's at this point in time, 23 laps in out of the 45-lap stage. So you're right halfway through there. I mean, with the sets of tires you have, I mean, you could, it could help out, getting some fuel on there. Even though we had already discussed that fuel, they're good through stage. So, kind of surprised. But I mean, everybody's strategy is different, Jeremy. I mean, your pit strategy is different than mine. I like to try to bank and have that extra set of tires at the end of the race. We've seen that be so successful in other racing leagues. Drivers have gotten wins. We just covered that on Tuesday where Tyler Honeycutt sat here and did that exact same thing and got the race win with the fresh set of tires behind the wall. But again, if the car's not handling right, or maybe you've burnt the tires off with the run you've done, because stage 1 is usually utilized as a test stage. How hard can you run the car? How light do you need to run the car? How much you heating the tires up? How much you wearing the tires? It's a test and feel type stage. So some drivers in there, but we do know for a fact that we've had some to come in to actually get fixed up there. And look at that. We know Raymond Bell's been on there. He was part of that first caution there. 7 minutes of damage. Raymond Hanneman in there as well. Minute 28. Chris Cash, 34 seconds. And, oh, man, we have a car flipping backwards. That's Raymond Bell back there. And he just jumped straight to the pits on that one. I'm not sure what's going on there with the 26. But I don't know if that was just too much brake bias or what was going on. But, oh, man, he just goosed it. That's what that was, Jeremy.
Disconnected with car issues there, it looks like. So 26 DNF for himself here this evening as we're going back to green flag. 3, 2, 1. Green flag back in the air for the 3rd time. Nate gets a good start this time. The 48 Austin Wheeler seems like the car in position number 2 having some troubles, rather, getting the throttle down as you still remain 2 wide for 2nd through 7th. Nate's going to break out to an easy 3 car length advantage down the back straightaway. Here's the 94, Brandon Finley, for the first time trying to put himself in second place with a hard-charging number 48, Austin Wheeler.
Yeah, and we know that these Gen 7 cars, Jeremy, they have a tendency of breaking loose on fresh tires and tires that are seasoned, so to speak, within a tire run. It's not uncommon, and it's tough, especially on surfaces like Nashville here. We see it quite often, and now the trucks do the very same thing, Jeremy. We see that stigma happening. So drivers got to be aware. They have to be easy on throttle input. They can't just mash it down like they used to, as iRacing keeps putting these builds out more and more. But Austin Wheeler finding himself now in P2, Nick Kaufman in the 95, P3 trying to challenge to the inside, side by side for second place. Also side by side for fourth place back there, as well as you got Braxton DeWeese to the outside of the 94, Brandon Finley, who you just talked about.
Little crossover. Oh, the 94 saves it. Locks it down through the grass here. We're going to remain green flag as it's a solo almost spin. And that is a big disappointment here. Thankfully, it's only in stage 1, but man, he was doing so good. And now he's got all that work to do to pass every single person that he just got passed by on that incredible save. I was going to mention that the 48 Austin Wheeler, 95 Nick Kaufman, they are battling so good. Last lap, they crossed each other over once or twice, and it looks like finally they're going to give it up, and Nick Kaufman and that Dynaco Ford Mustang is going to take that second position.
Yeah, Nick Kaufman's been running strong there, as you see the 48 kind of drift up. But you got to remember, Jeremy, I mean, aside from a handful of drivers, pretty much most of these drivers are still out there on their original set of tires that they started the race with. So we're going to start seeing some of the handling issues, and depending on how hard they've used up these tires, we're going to start seeing some problems, handling-wise going through the corners here. But right now, I mean, nothing is touching Nate Lesko right now. He has got that thing dialed in, but Jeremy, we know clean air is primo in these Gen 7s. We've seen it and heard it before from a number of drivers. These cars handle drastically different out there with clean air, like Nate Lesko has right now. Where it starts getting tricky is further back, starting in second place, Kaufman, Wheeler, DeWeese, Likens, and Trawick back there. You start getting that dirty air, and it drastically affects how these cars handle.
Speaking of dirty air, we're 3 wide, and we're almost 3 wide again to turn number 3 back there for about 15th place, roughly speaking. As a bunch of these guys are all over the place. The 87, Clay Sampson, he was 3 wide last lap. One of the drivers, he had made a little moment, shuffled the pack a little bit further behind him. Dropped him a couple car lengths. Now the 11 of Jamel Love, he's trying to complete the pass over the 32, Nick Biddy. Really low corner exit there. He's going to allow Robert Hottenbach in the 3 to move up to the outside. He's going to let some people by as the 11 really dropping off pace. Jamel Love to the apron. Unscheduled pit stop for the Toyota from Jamel Love. As we got a caution on the front straightaway. Dana Ryan spins out with the 27 in turn number 4. Car contact, 27. Stephen Harden going to wash up into the number 1 here off of turn 4.
Yeah, we're going to watch this right now. You got the 1 of Dana Ryan on the outside. You see the 27 of Harden there and just drifts up. Contact, both go around. Is that Chris Cash there that just gets by that as well? Close call there for driver 69 as well. But yeah, it's tough, Jeremy. I mean, like I said, it's the dirty air here. It doesn't take much. I mean, just, getting on the throttle a little bit more. And I mean, it was a hard drift up there. And actually, no, that's the 85, I believe, back there, and not the 69. But I mean, either way, no, it's not even the 85. Man, I don't even know my numbers right now, Jeremy. I am just.
It's a beautiful car. That's all I know. That's all we need to know.
It is a beautiful car.
Raymond Hanneman, great looking car. And notation too. Jamel Love was actually tagged late from that restart. He crossed the lanes from the outside to the inside before the start-finish line, and it took race control a few laps to make the call. And so that's why the 11 had dropped down to the apron trying to make pit road. He was going to serve himself a penalty. I think it was going to be a pass-through. And we're going to see right here on cue, restart for car number 11. Most leagues in iRacing, Dustin, you cannot change lanes before the start-finish line. Jamel Love learning the hard way, race number 1 for himself.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
the crossover. Didn't go completely over the 84's nose, but it was a hard cut, and he did change lanes. And so that's why he's going to the back of the field.
Yep. Yeah, you can't do that. A lot of leagues are doing that to prevent restart cautions from taking place. Just like that. I mean, that easily could have been a crossover. Contact could have been made, chopping the nose off, and that could have caused an incident right at mid-pack, collecting a lot of drivers. A lot of leagues are snapping down, saying, listen, you cannot change lanes. You must maintain your lane solid all the way through until after the start-finish line, and they're hammering down. And you know what, Jeremy? I agree with that rule. I do. You know, get up through the gears first before you start making crazy moves, especially with these Gen 7s and now the Craftsman truck series trucks that iRacing put out. Tire spinach and everything else on these things is crucial, and it can tear a truck up or a Gen 7 up. Let it get up through the gears. So I 110% agree with leagues running this rule.
And as you complete that, been sitting in the channel here for the past minute or two. I think we got Jason Rockefeller back. Let's do a mic check. Jason, you got us? I'm going to say no. He's still working on it. We got some computer issues that we're trying to diagnose on his end. So Dustin will remain with us. Appreciate you, Dustin, until Jason gets what he needs to fixed. And here we go. 1 lap to go here. I don't know if you noticed, Dustin, the pace car. The pace car driver's having fun out there. He's driving on the apron of the start-finish line and then shoots up the track. And he's running low in turn 3, and he's running in the middle of the track in turn 1. So I love some coding that makes for a little laughter. And you usually don't see something from the pace car anymore, but it's a good time here at Nashville for him.
Well, you know what? The pace car driver's got to have some fun, too. I mean, he's out there pacing, or she, so we'll just say they. You know, they're out there pacing. They got to have a little fun, too, you know, so they want to run the racing line. But I tell you, somebody else who's having fun is this guy right here, Nate Lesko, man. He is on a rail. We just talked about it. First multi-time winner in the series here for Smoky Mountain Sim Racing. And that was back-to-back. He won the last 2 weeks. And Jeremy, he is looking pretty stout for week number 3 in a row.
Call him Tyler Reddick. Just not the beginning of the season, but we're still in the front half of the thing. Here we go. Pace car down. 3, 2, 1. Green flag back in the air for the 5th time here this evening. As he gets a decent launch, Nick Kaufman's able to almost match him there from the second row on the outside. He's going to clear Austin Wheeler, I do believe, off at turn number 2. He does. Austin's going to slide up in front of Braxton DeWeese in car number 8. Finds himself in 4th. And you got the 6 and the 56. Blake Trewick on the outside. And the number 6.
Al Likens.
Al Likens is going to be battling them. And then they got 2 by 2 by 2 for a couple rows deep beyond those cars as they continue to run side by side. Here comes Braxton trying to get himself into the top 3.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if Blake and Al cannot get away from each other, I think about every restart over the last 3 restarts, these guys have been side by side, and then you got a good battle right now between the 21 of Jeremiah Nelson, 15 of Tyler Bowling. They were side by side. Big run on that outside by the 21 of Jeremiah Nelson. He's going to get by Tyler and Al in 1 on a 2-for-1 deal coming out of the corner there, Jeremy.
Yeah, no kidding. Good, strong stuff right there on lap 38. You got 8 laps to go before we're going to find stage break. And I think the stage would end within the 5-lap window from when we get to that. So anytime after lap 41, possibly. Maybe we can get race control to confirm that for us. Anytime after lap 41, we should have a official stage if they were to have a caution fly at that point in time. As these guys are hammered down dust, and this is qualifying laps to complete this thing. Where can you put your car before pit stops here in under 10 laps?
Oh, yeah, very close racing here between the 84 Eddie Baker, 18 of Bryce Hedgecock. They were scraping door panels there through the corner. The 12 of Dill Pickle right behind them, as well as Nick Biddy trying to figure out what's going on. You see the 11 back there. That is Jamel Love, not on the lead lap, but in the mix as well. And like you said, Jeremy, these guys are putting down qualifying laps so close there between Eddie Baker and the 18 of Bryce Hedgecock. But they are trying. They're trying to pack that air there, trying to slow down, trying to do everything they can to get an edge on the driver to get the pass because, again, we are working lap 40. 6 laps left to go in the stage, Jeremy. They are clawing tooth and nail to get every position they can.
And it's 1884. They really just want to make contact with one another, doing everything but. 95, Nick Kaufman has caught your race leader as he's running a little bit of different lanes compared to the 20, keeping the clean air on the nose of the 95. He gets him in one set of corners, and then he loses them a little bit here. He elects to take the middle of the track at 3 and 4 to get the clean air on. Gets a nice launch off of turn 4, or at least has the past few laps anyways. He gets really close to him right here into turn 1 as we got looking. Ooh, some more door-to-door action between the 15 and car number 6. This is well within the top 10.
Oh, yeah, these guys, I mean, they're trying. They are trying so hard right now. I mean, they're racing, Jeremy. Like, this is amazing racing. I mean, yeah, they're racing close. They might be making slight contact, you know, door panel to door panel, but they're doing it clean and as controlled as possible as we're riding on board right now with the 60 or the 15 of Tyler Bowling right now. Just to the inside of the 6 of Al Likens, you see he gets an edge on corner entry, but that high line, these guys just back and forth, more contact coming off the corner, but they keep it clean.
And look at that fuel, man, running almost on ease. We got just a handful, or less than 4 laps. I think it's 3 laps now left before a stage break. And this continues to be the best battle on the track, hands down. These guys just can't leave more than a foot from one another, it seems like, as you get up into turn number 1 here on lap 44, 2 laps to go. Oh, contact to the outside wall. The number 6, Al Likens, going to give up that battle. Finally, got a little too tight there. Too much aero wash for the car number 6. And now he's going to have to just hang tight here for the next lap. Get the caution, get the repairs, the new set of tires, fill that virtual fuel tank up, and reset here for the long overhaul. As I think we're going to try it one more time, Mr. Jason Rockefeller. You got it.
Oh, yeah, I definitely got it. You see Nick Kaufman right up on the back bumper, and Nate Lesko. There's the final lap in stage 1. The one and only stage points are going to be awarded, but it looks like Lesko is going to be able to power off turns 3 and 4 into the green and white checkered flag. Nate Lesko is going to take home the stage win over Nick Kaufman. Man, couldn't have joined at a better time. That was a great little battle there for those 2 laps. I was able to see it. Lesko and Kaufman going at it, and Lesko leaving right where he left off the last couple of weeks now, trying to make it 3 in a row here tonight. And obviously Kaufman right there on the back bumper. I think that Nate Lesko is going to have to definitely hold off Nick Kaufman probably the remainder of this race. We'll have to see, but Nate Lesko, stage winner.
Yeah, the battle was going on for the past 10 laps or such. It's a shame that you missed those awesome battles. Not between just one set of drivers. It was like 2 or 3 set of drivers inside the top 10 that were just door to door trying to get every position possible. And Nate Lesko did it. So dominant car here for opening stage. We're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be back before the 1 lap to go marker so we can talk to your stage winner. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
All right, back to full screen here. We're going to get our stage break winner and points leader, Nate Lesko, here in car number 20. We're going to bring him in from his Intentionally Wrecked podcast channel. Nate Lesko, this is Jeremy in the booth. What's going on, man?
Good.
You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I won't take too much of your time. Congratulations on stage win, man. Dominant car so far early on. Do you think you got it for the next 100 laps?
I don't think. I mean, I'm going to be starting at the back here. I got a penalty for speeding in pits, so a lot of work. I guess we'll see how it is driving through traffic, but I'm sure it's going to be tough.
Oh, I didn't catch the penalty, man. Well, you got the fast car. You've had a decent amount of cautions that have been through this race so far, so maybe work some magic to pass some cars that way, and then potential to talk to you. But congratulations on the stage win. Just wanted to give you a little shout out there before we go back to Green Flag Racing.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Short laps here. It's a shorter track compared to most of the cookie cutters, and we brought him back in. We're in turn number 3. We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing on lap 50. So it's actually 101 laps left in the Music City Madness 150. Pace car down. The 94, Brandon Finley is going to lead the field to the green flag for the first time here with Nick Kaufman to the outside in position number 2. Green flag back in the air once more here. And a quick single file to the top 4 here. Except for the race lead as Nick Kaufman. I thought he was going to go single file, but he's going to drive it deep into turn number 1. It's going to cost him. He goes wide into 2. And now the 94 takes the lead.
Yeah, and just remember too, Jeremy, Brandon Finley stayed out there on that restart in that number 94 machine, lap 33. Last time he pitted, everybody else lap 47. So the fact that Finley's able to take the lead here on this restart is kind of mind-boggling if you really think about it. Nick Kaufman there in the second position. You got Austin Wheeler back there. But the real question that we're all wondering up here in the booth, and also everybody watching at home, Nate Lesko all the way up to 19th from where he restarted there on the grid after that pit road speeding penalty. How is his car going to handle here being in traffic?
Yeah, that's an excellent question here. He's already passed quite a few amount of cars. 27, Steve Harden, got some issues. He had some wall glue last lap on turn 1, turn 2, and now he's lost his steering. Steve Harden's going to wall ride some more. Maybe he does have his steering. It looked like he was bouncing off the wall quite a few times. He gets it down below the apron, and it looks like it's going to be a DNF for the driver, the number 27, at least from how he's parked it there on the apron of turn 4. And, well, no, okay, maybe it's not a DNF. Usually don't see cars parked there. They're on the entrance of pit road.
Yeah, you don't really want to see that at all. And Steve Harden definitely something of a miss. Probably more than likely a wheel issue, if I had to guess, just because he was kind of, you mentioned it, Jeremy, wall glued there for a certain period of time. We saw that. We've seen that so far this year. A lot of mechanical failures for drivers. And by mechanical failures, you mean technical difficulties for some of these guys with their PCs, kind of like what I just had, unfortunately. But, things happen. Hopefully Steve Harden's going to be able to get back out there and be able to contend for some spots, pick up some points here. But a little bit of a battle going on here for second. Here comes Austin Wheeler to the inside of Nick Kaufman for the second spot. Brandon Finley is pulled out through a 0.3 of a second gap off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Wheeler and Kaufman side by side, door handle to door handle now as they go into 3.
Yeah, great battle here, and there's also great battles outside the top 10. Throughout this whole field, there's quite a few to pick from, and they're all good battles. But this is the most important one to tie up on the boards here. Second and third place up for grabs. Braxton DeWeese has just been looming to try to get himself in the top 2 or top 3, as we almost have contact there at turn number 1. 95 Nick Kaufman's going to take that And now here comes Braxton DeWeese on the inside. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. The number 5 gets loose, slams Robert Hottenbach.
Big crash.
Flex the 65 of Mitch Diamond. 4 or 5 cars involved. The 18. Oh, man. We're going to have to go back and take a couple looks at this one. It all started, Jason, the number 5 off of turn 2. Bill Hagan going for a wild one.
Yeah, and right in front of Nate Lesko. And, this is going to be a huge moment for Lesko. This is going to change this race completely upside down, probably, if I had to guess. And you see Bill just unfortunately could not save the car right in front of Lesko. There's the 18 machine of Bryce Hedgecock. Others involved as well. But, man, the big story of this moment right here is going to be the fact that Nate Lesko, the speeding penalty that bit him too hard, it's going to cost him possibly the race right here. I don't see too much damage, Jeremy, to that number 20 machine, but with the damage that he sustained, that's probably going to be a huge factor as well. Here's another look at the replay here from the Oakley visor cam. From Nate Lesko, sees the 5 overcorrecting hard into the wall right there. Goes the 5 and the 18. And there's the 18 gliding across his front bumper. Maybe we'll see another angle here from Nate Lesko. But that is a huge moment in this race that possibly could end his chance for another win for the three-peat here.
Yeah, 100%. Here's we get one more TV angle at this one where Robert just gets blindsided by the 5. And Nate has got to be thinking, are you kidding me? And then he sees Bryce Hedgecock cross him over there. Thankfully, that wasn't more than what that was. That was just by, less than 6 inches there before he got collected. The 18 potentially, but we're going to go with the 18 here, and we're going to ride on his car cameras. Let's see off the right rear spoiler. There's the spin. Here's the close angle Dustin wanted to bring up, and actually there was some contact.
I don't know if the 18 got turned there coming off turn 2. Looked like he was just avoiding it and then just tried to kind of swerve because, with these rack and pinion steering cars, it's really hard to save a race car when you get really sideways, try to overcorrect it. I want to see another view from the 18's perspective maybe, if we can, coming off turn number 2, because I don't think he got touched there. I think he was just simply trying to avoid. And, yeah, you see nobody's around him. 18 gets right there on the apron, and I think got on the brakes because he saw the 3. Yeah, no contact. Glides right across Nate Lesko. Looks like a tiny slight bit of contact, hard up into the outside wall. Car stays on the ground. But this is a product of Nashville. We've seen tons and tons of times where guys in the middle to back half of the field, they'll get on restarts, they'll really fight for position, and then usually 1 or 2 guys start a massive crash, whether it be into 1 and 2, or into 3 and 4. There's always that one massive wreck here every year without fail at Nashville, it seems. That might have been the one and only we'll see here tonight, but by the looks of it, I don't know if that's going to be the only big wreck we see here tonight. But Nate Lesko, definitely his chances of trying to win this race tonight definitely have been hindered in a ton.
So up the AI Chief patch-up report. We're going to see how much damage Nate Lesko is able to get repaired on that number 20, as he's now on the list. 23 seconds is his position number 19 right now. So if that was a complete repair, 23 seconds is not bad. I know it was all left front damage with a little bit on center. So we'll see how the arrow of that car goes as we're going to go through this restart, which is happening right now on lap number 58. 59 will be the restart number on this one. Just under 100 laps remaining in the Music City Madness 150 for race number 6 of the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Cup Series. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Back in the box. Green flag out once more here. Oh no, Braxton DeWeese tire spin. This is going to bring out a caution here once again. Braxton DeWeese says, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that on the radio. Self-spin, tire spin, Jason, on this restart.
And that's your top 2 in points. Back-to-back cautions. You have Lesko and DeWeese, both within 12 points of one another for 1 and 2. And then third is back by 36 to Lesko. This is crazy. Back-to-back cautions. Let's take a look here at the AI Chief, or rather at the replay. And you see right here on the restart, yeah, just wheel spins it straight up. You see the car. Let's take a look at the Nerd TV Rewind right here. I want to take it back one more time. you'll see this car start to bounce with the wheel hop. If we take a look at it in slow-mo, maybe if we can, you see right there, right here, coming up, boom, boom, boom. There you go. You see that front end kind of hopping around. That's the wheel spin coming in the rear end of the race car there, trying to get it locked up. He does, but unfortunately with that lockup, it results in a hard impact into the outside wall. Maybe not too much damage, honestly. I know Lesko had a lot of left front fender damage, but for the 8 of Braxton Deweese here with locking it up, he was able to just have some minor contact in the outside wall. Thankfully, that was not a caution for him that happened under real green flag conditions where he was going full speed. So Braxton Deweese, a little bit of damage there on the front end, it seems, but I don't know if it's going to plague him too much, but it definitely will in some way, I feel.
Yeah, what I did notice, and I think maybe Braxton was trying to get an advantage, but almost everybody in the whole field was restarting in second gear up toward the front. Some of the guys in the back were trying to restart in first gear to get that launch, and Braxton was one of the highest running guys to restart in the first gear. You see there's number 1 there in the top right-hand side of the digital dash. If you go to the race leader and a couple others, there was like a 50-50 split between the guys in first gear or second gear. So it must be like right on that edge of getting that advantage on the high gear. And no, the bumps there on the front straightaway don't like it. So that's what's going to send Braxton Deweese around there. And we're going to redo this again, Jason. This is the 6th caution here this evening.
Damn, I missed a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected out of Nashville. I knew it was going to be either lackluster or eventful, and it's definitely the latter of the two.
Well, I'll tell you what, when me and Dustin called a race here about nearly 2 years ago for FTSR for their Full Throttle Sim Series Truck Series race, it was pretty eventful. We had Bobby Terrell go on and win. It was a great race. I know you were on vacation at the time, but man, Nashville, it's one of those tracks, Jeremy, like you mentioned, it can go one of two ways. It's either very eventful or it's very calm. But I feel like over the last few updates with iRacing, and just seeing the way that these cars react nowadays within dirty air, and again, these cars are no slouch. We talk about how these Gen 7 cars have so much grip in the track. They're just too easy to drive for some drivers, but for a lot of guys, it's just not to their driving style. You try to save a race car, it's not as easy as it was with the Gen 6 car. And for a car that's been out now, for basically 4 years, it's really tough to save these race cars with the racket pinion steering, and so many other factors, the underbody, just the fact these cars are so boxy. You either refer to them as a tight box, or just a wrecking ball. And for some guys, it's really hard. For some guys, it's really easy. And to have 6 cautions so far this early on, we're not even lap 75 yet. It's crazy to think that we've already run our 6th caution of the evening, and the track is just going to get cooler as we go down, here for the remainder of the race. The sun's going down, the track's going to get cooler, the lights are going to come on here, so it should be a really interesting race, and to see who's going to win this race will be a fun one for sure.
You mentioned all the boxes. Dustin, our producer, would refer to this car as a shit box. And here we go. Back to green flag action once more. The 94, Brandon Finley. Great launch over the 95, Nick Coffin, who's going to solely take second place. Austin Wheeler right on that back bumper, leaving no room for error momentarily, as Al Likens in the 6. Going to try to go swooping on the high side to get the momentum. Too tight there. The 48, Austin Wheeler. 3 wide right behind him there for just inside the top 10. They still remain 3 wide. Finally go back to the 32. Nick Biddy all over the back bumper, the 21 momentarily. Jeremiah Nelson clears him. Now he's trying to pass the 56 of Blake Trawick on the front stretch.
And all these cautions are really helping out Brandon Finley. Remember, pitted lap 33, everybody else lap 47. So this is helping him big time and taking a massive gain with track position. Everybody starts to single file out. Couple of rows or double file there on back, and then into 3 and 4. You got a little bit of a battle here going on for the 5th spot between Tyler Bowling, Eddie Baker, and a little bit of argy-bargy there back off turn number 4. I believe that was the 42 CJ Gates just brushing the wall coming off turn number 4. And as they work into 1 and 2, now more and more drivers starting to get situated, going single file, Jeremy. There's still a few battles going throughout the field.
Approaching 500 broadcasts, and the first time ever we heard Hargy Bargy.
Argy Bargy. Argy Bargy. Argy Bargy.
makes an appearance live here at Nashville. We're having fun here as we're getting so close to the halfway mark. We got the lights down. Just a notation, too, the weather is a ×2 speed. So this thing will get to complete nightfall before this race is said and done. 7:41 p.m. server time as we go 3 wide. It looks like just for a split moment with the 85 up the middle. They go back to 2 wide formation down the back straightaway. Oh, wrecking the back to 21.
Oh, no!
Jeremiah Nelson. And the Ryan Blaney scheme that Jason Rockefeller loves oh so dearly drives it too deep into the Jimmy Johnson paint scheme. Eddie Baker, he's going to hit the backside of him and go for a loop-de-loo.
That was, I think, a really poorly timed come down the track moment for the 21 machine. And right here, you know, unfortunately just gets right into the back of the 84 there. You see him going sideways. We'll take a little bit of the Nerd TV rewind into 3 and 4. Dives it down big time. You see the 84 machine hard up on the brakes, trying to get down to the bottom, but the 21 runs right to the back of him. You would normally think that a hit like that from the 21 to the 84 would turn him around, but unfortunately it doesn't. Just turns the 21 run. Great driving by Blake Traywick. We'll have to take a look at the onboard for him here in a few moments, but the 21 machine, you see him go up the racetrack. 84 now sideways. We'll get a look at both angles because I know Dustin has all the angles for us, but here we go. Again, back down the back straightaway. No contact between Traywick and Nelson. Down into the corner. Hard contact, and up the track goes Traywick. He'll say sayonara to the 21. He'll see the 84 getting sideways in front of him through turns 3 and 4. And watch this right here. 84, Tokyo drifting sideways. A little bit of contact. I still give Blake a little credit, though. He was able to avoid the 21.
Yeah.
That's props as it is.
Solid effort. Absolutely solid effort. I'll give it to him as well. And couple of notations, too, on that. Jason, you mentioned how you expect maybe the 84 to turn around. And I know when this Gen 7 car released and everything, they were running each other over at short tracks, and these cars were not budging. So, like, these things are planted. Somehow the front car has all the security. The back car gets all the issues. And then you got some credit there, Jason, on the Twitch side. Dilly Toon says, as the resident Brit in chat, I appreciate the use of argy bargy.
Well, I try to, you know. I mean, I do my fair share of studying up on some you know, guys who use argy bargy. I do like that term. I think it's awesome, whether it be an IndyCar, IMSA, stock car racing, really anything. I think it's awesome to hear argy bargy. I just like that term. I think it's awesome. Argy bargy. It's kind of fun to use. I mean, I know it's not argy bargy that I'm saying, but it's argy bargy.
Oh.
So great time. Oh, and there's Blake. Blake slides right up into the 3. I believe that's the 3 machine there.
What was that?
Yeah, that's Robert Hottenbach sideways. So from what we saw from the Oakley visor came, I thought the 56 kind of just, you know, went and was gliding across the grass. Turns out he comes right up into Hottenbach. I definitely think that the race officials will look at that because that is totally avoidable. I don't know what
100%.
Blake Traywick was thinking right there to come up. You know the yellow's out. Why the hell would you come up, you know, post apron and just drive right up the field? That is not an okay look on his end.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. He had all the time in the world to turn up, but yeah, that's interesting. Well, curious to see what race control says post race, and if that penalty report pops up next week, we will find out. As a very nice lap 69 currently going now. Lap 70 will be the restart lap. For the 8th time, we're going to see this green flag fly in the air. And it's going to be led off by Brandon Finley, Nick Kaufman, Austin Wheeler, and Al Likens. Completed with Tyler Bowling in your top 5. Here we go. 3, 2, 1 in the box. Green flag back in the air once again as Brandon gets a decent start. Nick Kaufman able to secure 2nd place easily. The 6, Al Likens. He's going to have Austin Wheeler, who's been really good on these restarts, trying to hold the bottom lane this time. And Al gets really close to that outside wall. Nick Kaufman going for the race lead.
And here we go. For the first time, somebody's going to challenge that last pit lap 33 car of Brandon Finley, and he'll get cleared by Nick Kaufman. who was battling with Nate Lesko earlier on in the race. Big crash in the back, massive crash off turn number 4. That's the 1 machine of Dana Ryan, the 18 machine as well. That would be Bryce Hedgecock and other drivers involved. Jeremy, these guys cannot stay off one another, and this was coming off turn 4.
Yeah, this is the biggest wreck here so far this evening, and we're gonna got the 32 on camera here. There's the 15 contact. Blake Traywick's gonna naturally come through with some speed. The 42 also making contact, so just a wall of cars hitting Mr. Biddy, and then everybody else scrambles all the way through to try to avoid him. And then we got this on the infield after they avoid the 32, then they're going to find each other piling up on the bottom half of the track. This is Dana Ryan, car number 1. Sharp, very good move initially. Very good move to try to avoid the 12 instantly right below him, but just not enough space. Going to take the 12 with him. Mr. Dylan Picklesheimer there in the
He keeps
Morgan
off the
Wallen
wall.
paint scheme, and he locks it down at a perpendicular angle. No wall contact, like you just said.
Yeah, you see that number 12 machine with the Morgan Wallen on the hood. I love that song, number 3 and number 7 off that album. Very good song. I don't really listen to Morgan Wallen that much, but I do like that song. So Valid Paint Scheme, I think looks really good. But that's going to help Dylan Picklesheimer. I know he's had a rough last handful of races for sure. I know he's 7th in the points, but he's only got 1 top 5 to his name. We run 5 races so far, 6th race of the evening here tonight. He's only got 2 top 10s coming in tonight. Dylan didn't gain or gain or lose any positions after last week at Sonoma, so he needs the spots for sure. But Jeremy, this has been a really chaotic race so far. We've seen now 8 cautions so far here tonight. We're not even to lap 75. I feel like I said that again. I feel like I said that over an hour ago, but it just goes to show you we've had caution after caution on the restart. But now we've finally seen some guys start to pit here. Other drivers, you see Raymond Hanneman. He's pitted now at lap 60. Same with Mitch Diamond. Lots of guys we haven't seen up at the front all season long so far, besides Nick Kaufman, Austin Wheeler. I know Al Likens only about, I think, his 3rd race of the year. We're running 3rd in that number 6 machine there that builds submarines. Brad Keselowski, Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Looking great. There's your AI Chief pit stop report. You see Austin Wheeler pitted 25 laps ago. Some other guys, just various different amount of strategies here, but that's the thing that you're offered, Jeremy.
Look at this. Look at that list, that pit stop report. Nate Lesko restarting in 10th place, climbing his way through the field, and look at it, 4 tires, 5 laps ago. So he is sitting in the best possible position in this top 10 with his 4 freshies. So watch Nate Lesko. He might be back to where he was it about 45 laps ago at this point? And we're going to see on this restart how much more he can improve that number 20 through this field as it's become a very short stint race. No long runs to be found, and I don't think we have it in us, but we still have a half a race to go, Jason. You keep talking about that. Not at the halfway mark just yet. We'll be there in 2 laps. Pace car down. Nightfall is just a few minutes ahead, and this track's going to cool down, and you said earlier it's going to get more grippy. Hopefully that's for the better. But green flag back in the air. A little checkup on the outside. A little tire spin, but it's okay. No harm, no foul. As we get to turn number 1, big stack up into turn number 1. They start avoiding each other. We stay contactless through 1 and 2.
And you see right there, big time tight is Al Likens in the number 6 machine, way up the track there, going through 1 and 2. Here comes the 69 of Cash down to the inside of the racetrack. Alongside them behind is Hanneman, Love, DeWeese, Diamond, Lesko, Picklesheimer, your top 10. Back to the line now, 76 laps to go here in the second half of the race. Just passing halfway now as they work into 1 and 2.
Good battles here. The 84.
Oh,
making some
no!
Contact.
Crash!
Caution for the 9th time this evening. Dana Ryan, car number 1, finds the outside wall, and he's going to bring at least one other person with him, the 84, Eddie Baker. And we're going to see exactly what happened here into turn number 1. We're going to go 3 wide and they're going to run the number 1 over here. You see the Valvoline car. Eddie looks high, gets behind him, and then Eddie is going to drive deep into turn number 1, and we're going to find our 9th caution right here.
Yeah, one car you see right there lays off going into 1 and 2. 84 Baker just doesn't lay off in time. Way too much, or rather, way too up the one's rear bumper. Doesn't lay off earlier, because most of the time when you're usually behind somebody that close going into the corner, you want to lay off a little bit earlier than the person in front of you. Just kind of try to get that rotation in the corner. But unfortunately, they both just do not really care. I mean, I know the one got kind of hit by the 84, not of his doing. Tough situation. I mean, 9 cautions so far. We're just past halfway. And just think, we still have halfway to go. We have a whole second half of this race to go. We're already at 9 cautions. I'm really hoping, though, these guys can keep it together, because we've had a lot of wrecked race cars tonight.
Yeah, as we ride a Oakley visor cam once more. Yeah, so the number 1, Dana Ryan, as he goes for a nice little 540 there. Got a lot of damage to the left front of that number 1 car. As we got more pit stops to repair more things. Quick picture-in-picture commercial break. As we're going to gather it back up here for the 10th start of the race. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh.
Back full screen for the 10th green flag attempt here. Nick Kaufman leads him to the field with a great start over the 48 Austin Wheeler. The 6 Al Likens going to try to clear the number 69 for position number 3. Christopher Cash does fall behind the 6. 2 wide Jamel Love and Mitch Diamond for 5th place. They still remain side by side as Jamel is going to try to get underneath Chris Cash here into turn 3.
And with 72 laps to go, here comes Love down to the inside, and there's Nate Lesko, the guy who got a speeding penalty, got involved in a little bit of a wreck earlier on. Tight move off turn number 4 there. Nearly was a wreck. They're 2 and nearly 3 wide as they work back into 1 and 2. Here comes Lesko now to the inside, working beneath Cash off turn number 2. DeWeese and Love side by side, as well as Nick Kaufman looks to try to pace himself way ahead of the field as they enter 3.
A little Little close quarters there into turn number 3 with a 21. He's able to stay off the back bumper of the 65 of Mitch Diamond. Great battling through this portion of the field. Let's remain green flag here. I want to see what another mid-run looks like at this Nashville Super Speedway. Music City Madness, I guess, Jason, was the correct name for this race on your behalf. There's 9 cautions to the first half of this race. It has been madness.
Yeah, it definitely has been madness, so I'm kind of glad that I chose that name right before my computer decided to go to shit. So back down off turn number 4 into 1 and 2. Here comes the number 94, Brandon Finley, now to the inside of Nate Lesko. That's going to be a battle for the 7th spot. Through 1 and 2 they go. Lesko has the drive off turn number 2, back down the straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Everybody, Jeremy, looks to have been running different lanes throughout this entire race. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy again throughout the back half of the field. Really up the track goes the 12, I believe, of Dylan Picklesheimer. Loses a ton of spots, and everybody throughout the mid-half of this field is really slicing and dicing.
Dylan got wicked loose in the very entrance of turn number 3. Got on the apron, backed it down, lost quite a few spots like you said, and now he's going to try to get back at it one more time, but I think that was about 5 or 6 spots at most. Dropped from the number 12 as we go Nerd TV replay. He just drives it down early by himself, gets into the corner entry, gets loose, bounces it up the track, slides between Mitch and Robert there. Close call. Keeps it off the wall into the tire marbles, has to back it down. There goes the 87 around. There goes Bryce to the outside. 85 as well to the inside, and he's finally, well, fouled right in front of Bryce as he's back into turn number 3. Lots of climbing to do from 15th place.
Yeah, just right there into turn 3, it looked like he just obviously made a late move down to the bottom of the racetrack, had a huge runoff too down the back, and just unfortunately tried to go a little too early into the inside of the corner and hits that apron, washed up the racetrack. Thankfully, we don't have, I believe, our 10th yellow of the evening. So good to see a green flag run going on so far. Knock on wood. Nick Kaufman currently leading over Austin Wheeler by about nearly a second here. Coming off turn number 4, and you see that number 95 machine clear out front by a second. Braxton DeWeese, Al Likens, Jamal Love in 5th, and then you have Cash, Finley, Biddy, Nelson, and Lesko, your top 10. And again, big shout out to Nate Lesko. He had that speeding penalty, got involved in that wreck, now finds himself up inside the top 10. Jeremy, don't count him out. I think that with that damage he sustained earlier, he's got it repaired. I think that 20 machine could definitely drive himself up to the front of this field here. It's going to be a little bit difficult for him with the damage he's had here that he sustained earlier in the race.
Yeah, this is the tough climb, right? 10th through 1st with a little bit of damage, and he's got aero washed with cars that are almost as fast as him. So it's just really going to... He's going to have to change his lines up. He's going to have to utilize maybe a couple more cautions to pass some drivers through some strategy on pit road to get ultimately to 1st. I don't think he's got it on speed, but I'm not counting him out. Absolutely not. There's definitely a lot that can happen in this race, and I expect the 20 to be inside that top 5 when we're all said and done. Lap 88 currently underway of a total of 150 laps. That puts you at 63 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway. As we go showing off for the first time tonight our iRacing iFlag track map to see what 20 laps under green flag conditions looks like at Nashville.
And you can see this is how Nashville plays out. It's just like Dover. It gets really spread out. Remember, Dover is just a mile in length in an oval. This is a tri-oval. It's 1.33 miles, so a little bit longer, and also not as fast, I feel like. You know, they talk about it. I believe it was Cale Yarborough years ago saying that Bristol Motor Speedway was like flying a fighter jet in a gymnasium. Well, that's kind of how it feels at Dover as well, you know, for a mile racetrack. Oh, and sideways, that's Brandon Finley, Robert Hottenbach, other guys as well. The 94 turned around sideways in front of the field coming off turn 4. Oh, and there goes the 5 of Bill Hagan.
Wow.
hard into the wall of turn 4. Talk about ARCA brakes there. And this happens going into 3 and 4. The 32 just nails the 94.
Yeah, I'll take another look at that one. He came into the picture frame pretty late there overall. Tags 94, and then Mitch Diamond. Oh, there's the VHS rewind, Dustin. Going to give us a little bit of wider angle to see how the 32 Nick Biddy was able to drive in here. And yeah, that was a little bit of Nick saying, hey, you left me the lane. I'm going to take it. And then the 94, Brandon Finley was like, well, I'm going to diamond this corner. I'm going to go down to the bottom and get a straight launch off corner exit. Both guys had plans for the same real estate. And then Mitch Diamond, Dustin, not on microphone, but man, with the joke of the night, he got Mitch Diamond into the corners, the 65. Mitch just destroys the 94 and Brandon Finley, who's been doing so well. And then you have ARCA brakes, Mr. Bill Hagan, just deep in the field, nowhere to be found. There he is. And we're just going to smash the wall because why not?
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't back it down. I'm not going to lie, Mr. Bill.
Caution was out.
Yeah, caution was out. You could have easily just backed it down, and now you just put more damage on your race car. But anyways, here we go. Pit stops underway under caution. You have the 95 machine, DeWeese, Coffin, Wheeler, Likens, Love, Cash, everybody else down pit road. While DeWeese actually stays out, Nelson, Picklesheimer, Tyler Bowling, Blake Trawick. Few drivers stay out, Jeremy, and with just almost to 50 laps to go, this is going to put a big spin on this race here late in the going.
3 sets of tires behind the pit wall, and you're on your 10th caution. So you have to pick and choose when. You select the virtual Goodyears. A decent amount of the drivers do it this time around on this 10th caution. We got a couple of sponsors to thank for this league. Smoky Mountain Sim Racing directly partners with them, and there's 3. And that's going to be BK Designs. BK Designs specializes in high-quality custom iRacing paints for just $25. $15 redos. Whether you're looking for a sleek, professional look or a bold, eye-catching design, look no further than BK Designs. And you can find them on Facebook. Wheeler's Painting and more. Turning houses into homes. Also find them on Facebook. And then Whitehead Auto Detailing. Making sure your vehicle feels as good as new to you. Find them on Facebook. Also, for more information, to keep your car squeaky clean. And 32, Nick Beatty does receive the EOL penalty for causing that caution there.
And here's the thing that I'm really interested in is that DeWeese, Nelson, Picklesheimer, they all stayed out. And now we're going to start to see a green flag run possibly develop and see what these guys that stayed out are going to have. Because remember, just moments and moments ago, we saw the number 94 of Brandon Finley stay out there for a significant amount of laps. Had those cautions play into effect for him, he was able to stay out and kind of keep going for a while in the race lead until he was battled by the number 95 of Nick Coffin. Now Nick Coffin finds himself in 5th. And the number 94, Brandon Finley, involved in that previous caution, he'll find himself back outside the top 15 there in the 19th spot. So 3 drivers stayed out. Interested to see, Jeremy, late in this going with the track cooling down more and more with the sun setting and lack of grip. I wonder if we're going to see any tire spin here coming up on this restart.
30 server time on this restart for the 11th start. Going to be on lap 94. Have our scheduled 150 laps approaching 2/3 of the way completed in this madness of a race from Music City. We're going to see the pace car come down this time. Your top 5 on this restart: Braxton DeWeese, Jeremiah Nelson, Dylan Picklesheimer, Tyler Bowling, and Blake Trawick. Here we go. Into the box in 3, 2, 1. Back to green flag. Here we go. Braxton with a decent start. The 21 is able to almost match him. Jeremiah Nelson. He's going to have pressure on the outside momentarily from Tyler. Can't make it happen. Well, yeah, actually, you know what? The 21, Jeremiah gets really tight on corner center of 1.
Oh, 6 in the wall.
6 in the wall. Mr. Al Likens keeps it going. And pretty sketchy start here on this 11-3 start. Oh, contact, 12 and 95.
Oh, and there's contact, I feel like, throughout the entire field. I'm looking right now at the STK live timing leaderboard for us, and everybody is shuffling throughout the entire field. And so far, only one driver remains up inside that top 1 position. That's Braxton DeWeese, who is currently with the lead by, and there we go. There's another iRacing iFlag caution. It looks to be the number 94 of Brandon Finley again. And this time he is perpendicular to the wall off turn number 2 compared to where he was at the last caution off turn number 4. Shooting the gap, looks like, and just kind of overshoots it, gets into the one machine, and sideways goes the number 94 machine in front of everybody, collects the number 29 of David Mayberry. Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we're going to take another look. The 87, watch the 87. He's not really in that frame. We're going to have to back it up, maybe go to the 87's perspective. But he really washes up the track, and Race Control was even saying he blinked a little bit, which kind of put the fear of Brandon Finley to not drive to the bottom of the track. Watch the 87. He's actually going to a little netcode there, but that doesn't cause the wreck. It's just a little netcode incident that plays to the blinking aspect that the Race Control was seeing. But he drives way up the track from the bottom, and it really pinches the 94, so he likes to move away from the 87. You see him continue to slide up halfway up the track, and so he makes that move to the outside and finds Dana Ryan up there. So that's a tough call, and it looks like they are going to ultimately put it on the 94, but the 87 definitely played a part in that. You see the net code drives right through him, so the lag was definitely apparent, and that's why the drivers were kind of fearful of the 87.
Kissing.
Yeah. Dustin, 2 physical objects can occupy the same place at the same time. We saw it, and you paused on it. It happens in the virtual world. He says can't.
Delayed data. That's kind of funny. But now, this has been the interesting thing that we've seen here so far tonight, Jeremy. With the successive amount of cautions we've seen now, we're going to have guys that are going to stay out here on this restart. You're going to have Braxton DeWeese up there, Jeremiah Nelson, Dylan Picklesheimer, along with a few others. But those are the guys that pitted last at lap 67. You're going to have guys that are also pitted at lap 76 with Tyler Bowling, Blake Trawick, and then lap 91 from Nick Kaufman on back. Everybody else pitted at lap 91 or higher. So coming to the restart, it should be around 50, maybe 51 laps to go, maybe 52 here. I think that the guys sitting up in that top 5 that pitted at lap 67 are in a great spot if they can get a certain amount of cautions here in succession. We know how good Braxton DeWeese is. Remember, he spun the tires a handful of laps to go on a restart. I think that Braxton can easily hold off the field. He's second in points. He needs the points, but don't forget about that 20 of Nate Lesko. He just pitted at lap 91. He'll be restarting just shy outside the top 20 outside the top 10 in the 11th spot. So these are much needed points for Braxton DeWeese if he wants to try to close that gap on Nate Lesko here as we're getting ready to restart here with 52 laps to go.
52 to go and get back to the green flag. Your top 5 this time: Braxton DeWeese, Tyler Bowling, Dylan Picklesheimer, Jeremiah
What in the hell?
and Blake Trawick. As my blunder of the night comes up. I think Jason had one 2 weeks ago. He called himself out on it. Then there's mine of the night.
It's all right. I say it way too often.
The last one, Dickel. That's a fun name there, I suppose. But add the list to the nicknames for the car number 12. Yeah, Race Control saying close it up. There's a little too much gappage through the field. They're backed up a little bit from the pace car. They're going to extend this restart just a touch bit as they're really checking each other up here. Stacking them up. There we go. A little domino effect contact. Bumper to bumper through each lane. And they ended up getting it going, but it's really scattered the field in the back half there. A couple of the drivers are mentioning that was not a good restart. Oh, the 6 hard to the outside.
Oh, there we go. Big crash.
Oh, no. He's going to take one of the fastest cars of the night, Austin Wheeler, with him. Caution out. Race Control throws the yellow for this 12th caution of the evening. And yeah, that was just blindsided to the 48. The 6 just got really tight, slams the outside wall, and poor old 48 Austin Wheeler here.
I don't really blame the 6. I don't know why we didn't wave that off to begin with. Everybody was so tight. They were practically almost to the start finish line by the time we went green right there. You see the 6 just hard up into the wall, trying to drive it as hard as he can. Don't blame him. And then just can't save it. Comes right across the 48 machine. One of the fastest cars of the night. And for the 48 machine, you gotta feel bad. Did everything right pretty much all night long, would have been up there. I don't believe that the 48 was even involved in any incidents, but for Austin Wheeler, coming in tonight, third in the points, back by 36. He needs these points, just like Braxton DeWeese and Nate Lesko, who came into tonight with the points lead. Jeremy, this has been a succession rate for all the guys up in the top 3 to top 5 in the point standings having issues tonight.
That's going to cycle the 20 back to 9th place inside the top 10 once more, as he's been struggling to get any further than 9th place after finding his way 40 some odd laps after his initial blunder plus wreck that happened for him about a third of the race ago. As we're going to get another 2 to go here, we're going to shout out one of our Nerd TV partners, and we've been rocking them a lot recently, and I want to talk about them. AI Chief. In the sport of sim racing, every advantage is crucial to achieving victory. AI Chief brings a new level of driver to crew chief interaction to any sim racer. With new age AI, this program gives every driver the information needed to make those calculated decisions. AI Chief is a completed voice automated, allowing the driver to tell the chief exactly what they want, like 2 tires and fuel, 4 tires and fuel, whatever you want to tell it. You just press the button, boom, he's going to give it to you, so you don't have to go there and you press your F5 or F4 key, make your changes that you need to. Nope, no longer. You just press the steering wheel button and you get what you want on pit road, and that's on AIChiefRacing.com.
Really interested to see what this restart will hold here. We're going to restart with less than 50 laps to go. And now we have seen the guys who pitted on lap 67 kind of fall out almost outside the top 5. Dylan and Jeremiah, Picklesheimer and Nelson, rather, have fallen to 4th and 5th. Braxton DeWeese still with that lead for the time being, but this time by, we should get the 1 to go. Looks like Braxton will choose the outside lane. Jeremy, I don't really know what to expect. It's been a real crapshoot tonight. It's hard to determine who's good, who's not. We thought Nate Lesko was going to be the car to beat earlier on. I think that's what we all assumed coming into tonight, along with Nick Kaufman, also as well as Brandon Finley maybe, but some other drivers who really had stayed up at the front earlier on in the first portion of this race are not here now. You got a completely different change of pace up in the top 5. The only one who I could really say who's been up there is Nick Kaufman in the 95 machine. But, I just don't know what to expect. Nick's in the top 5 in points coming tonight. I think if he wants to try to gain those points, he's going to really have to survive here. If I were him, I don't really know what I do. This race has been so unpredictable.
Yeah, we don't know. And we still have a lot of unknowns to happen in this race, as we're 2/3 down, 1/3 to go. 12 cautions. We're still on, I think, a stretch of 18 potential cautions if the numbers still play the way they have been through 101 laps. Here we go. Green flag again. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Green flag. Braxton gets a great launch from the outside. Remember, he had that tire spin issue about 50 laps ago. Able to rebound it back to the race lead. Learned from that mistake. Got the launch, and now here comes the 15 underneath the 95. Can Tyler Bowling put himself in P2 for the first time this evening? He's got the nose. Can he get it through 3?
And we'll have to find out through 3 and 4. Here comes the 11, Jamel Love, to the inside of, that would be the number, I believe that was the 95. Yeah, that was Nick Biddy. 32 machine, my apologies there, through 3 and 4. Everybody starting to single file out. Some drivers going 2 by 2 through 1 and 2 this time. Braxton DeWeese still holding the lead through 1 and 2 by about 0.6 of a second. Oh, and he brushes the wall off turn number 2. That could lead to a little bit of damage. that could reel in Nick Kaufman and Tyler Bowling to his rear bumper. Everybody else on back scrambling for position. This time by the line, it'll be 46 laps to go when they hit the stripe.
A lot of left and right motions on the front straightaway here as race control has tagged lap 102 restart as something under review. You might have to stay tuned for next week's penalty report if anything comes from that review. As we still green flag down the back straightaway here on lap number 105. Decent amount of the field spacing themselves out. Inside the top 10 area, though, we still got a couple of really good battles side by side.
Last time around, 29.724, fastest lap of the race set by Braxton DeWeese, and that just goes to show you how fast that number 8 machine is, despite spitting the tires and spitting on the restart, along with pitting on lap 67 compared to everybody else's 76, 91 on up. But for the time being, he has the lead by nearly a second over Nick Kaufman and Tyler Bowling, who sits there in third up on the podium. Jeremiah Nelson, Blake Trawick has found himself up into the top 5. Everybody's starting to single file out. Meanwhile, battle for the 5th spot. Dylan Picklesheimer fighting underneath Blake Trawick. And here comes Nate Lesko to the inside in the 1.
He's at a close wreck there in turn 3 and 4, but they get themselves cleared out as they're eyeballing Nate Lesko. Blake Trawick 3 wide on the back straightaway, a little bit behind these guys. As we go on the rear spoiler cam of the number 20 of their TwistedSpeedSetups.com in-car telemetry here, where you get a lot of information: the gearbox, the speed, the RPMs, the distance between the driver we're on and the car in front. And you get the estimated fuel amount here, which at this rate, I don't think that's... Oh, big checkups in this field as we continue to watch this angle between the 20 and the 56.
Yeah, and back down to 3 and 4. Here comes the 20. Let's go to the inside of Trawick in the 56 through 3 and 4. But you see Trawick, he gets that outside momentum off the corner. That's the big positive at running at these flatter mile-and-a-half-esque style racetracks, even though this is a 1.33-mile racetrack, and Trawick nearly slams the door on the 20, causes him to get a little tight. But Trawick in the Moon Machine gets really well sought off turn number 2. He'll clear that number 20. Meanwhile, back behind Lesko, you'll find Biddy, Cash, and Love battling for position. That's going to be for 8th on back to 10th in the top 10. And Love really up the racetrack, sideways up into the number 69 machine, able to save it. But they keep on going into turns 1 and 2. Hell of a save from Jamel Love, and he's going to get to the 94 this time, entering 2.
Washes up severely tight, goes to number 11, keeps it off the door of the 94 that time, and the 48 of Austin Wheeler, and then Bryce Hedgecock as well in car number 18 have been doing this for the past 5 laps, which are now caught up to the number 11 as they have a little issues there on lap 109 and 110. Thankfully, no cautions come from that as we're side by side from this group of the field here with 40 laps remaining.
And with 40 laps to go, things are getting down to the nitty-gritty. You see drivers slapping the wall. That's the number 18 machine, Bryce Hedgecock, right behind Eddie Baker, Austin Wheeler, and Jamel Love as they enter 3 and 4. To the outside is rolling is the number 48 of Wheeler, trying to get back to Love. Eddie Baker thought for a moment to go to the inside lane. Everybody single file on back, though, back behind the race leaders. Braxton DeWeese pulling out to nearly a second gap over Nick Kaufman down the back straightaway.
A lot of space around this car number 8 here. Currently leading with that 1 second lead over everybody else minimum. This man, 95, Nick Kaufman, has been bridesmaid all race long. Just unable to hold that race lead. He would like to get a long green flag run because I think Nick has that speed to be the race leader. If he can get a long run, he just has no opportunities.
Yeah, definitely no opportunities for sure. No doubt about it. It's been a tough night for a lot of these drivers, though, just in general. I mean, you think about it, somebody like Austin Wheeler, who has spent the majority of this race up inside the top 10, he now finds himself outside of it in 12th, minus 10 spots. Jamel Love, who just consistently tries. Look at this Hornet. It says 4 wide. That's not going to work. And as I say it, Jamel Love goes around off the front bumper of Raymond Hanneman entering turn number 1 out of the tri-oval. He'll lock it down up outside on the top side of the wall there in 1 and 2. Jeremy, you had to think they're seeing that shot that Dustin was giving us. Going 4, I think they were 5 wide almost going through the tri-oval. Something had to give.
This is a collection of things that happen not just in this particular moment, but throughout half a lap essentially. But it all ends up right here, 4 wide. The 65 Mitch Diamond was really slow into turn 3, really checked up the 85. And as they get here on the front straightaway, 4 wide, just gets squeezed. Number 11, Jamel Love. I guess he just got the tri-oval here at Nashville is way tighter than like any of your other style, like Las Vegas or whatever the case is. Kansas being another example. It's a lot tighter. So he sees the 3 wide. He's going to go 4 wide up the middle, and he turns the wheel, and the car just does not turn, obviously, or at least doesn't turn it enough, and then just slams the 85 into the outside wall. And that was right before the 85 hit the 65, being slow into turn number 4. So just a lot of chaos on that lap.
Avoidable contact. I think the officials are definitely going to look at that. They're definitely going to penalize the 11 for that one. No doubt about it. That was avoidable contact. And yes, he will go to the end of the line for the restart. But here we go. Pit stops starting under caution. And just like we've seen all night long, some will stay out. Some will stay out. Some will come in. The 8 machine of Braxton DeWeese will lead them all down pit road. But look who will find himself back up at the front of this field. We'll talk about it before the restart, but that's going to be Nate Lesko in the number 20.
As we're going to bring it back to another picture-in-picture here for the final time this evening. Gather things up here for the final part of the race. We'll be right back here shortly.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
Three, 2, 1. Green flag once again here at Nashville for the Music City Madness 150. Madness, chaos. You can insert any descriptive word and it'll fit the theme of this race here. As the 69 gets tight. Christopher Cash almost making contact with the 94. We're going 3 wide almost anyways. Austin Wheeler driving heavy into this opening lap, trying to get some positions back, and great recovery. Not just from the 48, but Nate Lesko back to the race lead out of some miracle. He's back to it, but he's got a hard charging 32 and 94 to look through, but I think he's got the speed there finally.
Little bit of contact there. Oh, and up the track goes Chris Cash, and he's going to go around in front of the field. Saves it, and instantly another yellow tonight. And boy, I was just starting to talk about how Bryce Hedgecock and the 48 of Austin Wheeler made contact going through 3 and 4. But boy, oh boy, that is going to be a yellow, and they might call it on Nick Kaufman here. We'll look at the Nerd TV replay going through 1 and 2. Kaufman really sending in it. Yeah, definitely on Nick Kaufman right there. And the thing is, too, he's on fresher tires. I don't blame him, but you have to be patient at a racetrack like this. You cannot just be driving through people like that.
And that's so tough as a guy with fresh tires wanting to just make up as many spots as possible. And I have to agree. Like, you could say the 69 Christopher was a little tight there, but the 95 wasn't even there. He just put himself there when he really shouldn't have been and squeezed that 3 wide, knowing how this race has been caution filled, and just drove the 69 to the outside wall there on this one. So I would expect that to be the call on this wreck on lap 119 to go to the 95. We'll have to see here in the next lap or two what that looks like. But it's just, the short tempers are kind of flaring, Jason. Even though it's not a short track, it really, truly feels like one here this evening.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And by the way, this is now the most cautions that we've had all season long. Previous record held by Dover Motor Speedway with 13 back at the end of February, on February 26th. So now Nashville Super Speedway will hold the most yellows of the season with 14 to Dover's 13. Not something you want to see. I could definitely imagine, Jeremy, going into next week. Obviously, it's going to be a big, big talking point for the admins to these drivers, telling them, hey, we got to clean it up. I know at one point they did. We had for a period of time, there was a lot of races where we went really clean, really clean, and really green. So hopefully we'll see that going in next week on March 26th when we go into Atlanta. I know that's going to be really tough. It's a super speedway. But yeah, nearly a third of the race has been run pretty much for cautions. So hopefully we'll get back to green flag racing. We're going to restart here with just under 30 laps to go when we restart. And guess who's found himself back up at the front still? We talked about it during the last caution, staying out. Nate Lesko, that number 20 Nesquik machine, back up at the front of the field. Brandon Finley. I don't think there's been one guy in this race tonight that has not been involved in an incident.
Catch-up report time again. We can get that back on our screen and tell you how many different people have been on that list. And that list is large.
Holy
and that is, yeah. Brandon Finley, P2. That's 1 minute of damage and still finds himself in second place. Where's Nate Lesko on this board here? Because he is your race leader. I know he's been on.
It's got to be under a minute. So
the list is so large it doesn't even display all the drivers that are on the list. That's an impressive stat alone. Because I know Nate Lesko's got on there, but he's the race leader. So that list could be even larger, which is, I think we found the limit to the coding of how many drivers you can fit on one list. That is not a stat you want to see here in a league race.
No, definitely not. And again, mentioned it back beforehand, Jeremy. 13 cautions at Dover, 14 tonight. This will now hold the record for the most cautions in a race during the season, and it's Nashville. Funny enough, 2 concrete racetracks. I can only imagine, what it's going to be like when we head to Bristol on May 28th. Hopefully that does not happen. But it's been like that tonight, so hopefully it's not going to be like that for the remainder of the season. Again, they had it happen once earlier in the year where they told the drivers, hey, we got to slow it down. They did. Sure enough, they can do it again.
Here we go. We're doing it again for the 15th time. The flagman's arm is about to fall off here as we're green flag.
Oh, another wreck.
More, and for the 16th time of the evening, we have, guess what, Jason? Another caution. Another caution. Christopher Cash being a part of the last 2 cautions now. And who is this one on?
Oh, wheel spin on Blake Treywick. Was
that a downshift even? That was a late into it.
Yeah,
we'll have to find out. Could
Look
be
at
a
the
tire
onboard.
spin. Could be money shift. I don't even know at this point. The bed sheets are calling my name out here. Let's see, 2.
Money.
Money
Yup.
shift. Money.
You know,
Virtual money, man.
there's a lot of there's things that I feel like I could say that I shouldn't. I'm not going to, but I just I don't know. I thought it was gonna be wheel spin. It's not. It's gonna collect even more drivers. You see right there. There's a 69 of Chris Cash. 42 machine as well of CJ Gates. There's the 6 machine, Al Likens, who has had a stellar night, really. I mean, all in all. But then again, there's a lot of drivers who have came and went in this race. You think Nate Lesko earlier in the race was up there, lost it. Now he's back. Brandon Findlay, same thing. He was involved in 2 cautions in a row. He finds himself in second. Nick Biddy, who has been involved in, I think, 3 or 4 incidents, is now third. Austin Wheeler, Bryce Hedgecock. Bryce Hedgecock was involved in one of the first cautions of the evening. He finds himself up inside the top 5. This is looking like shades of late 2010s Talladega Daytona style racing. You just don't know what to expect. And there are so many different drivers finding themselves up at the front of this race here. Every single caution we find ourselves into when we come to a restart.
56 obviously was given the EOL penalty on that money shift, as that was the bad move of the race there from the 56.
You're
Sorry
funny
about that, Jason.
You're a funny man.
Sat on that one for a couple laps, but there you go. Sometimes they're easy, and sometimes you got to dig for them. And you know, we're doing things here on our 15th caution of the evening. We're gonna go 1 to go this time again. We're gonna have 24 laps to go, and I think we're still averaging a total of 18 cautions if it does run its course.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? You said that to me about, 7 cautions ago? So it very well could happen. We're about to restart with, 25 laps to go, 24 laps to go. So it could happen. I hope it doesn't. I want to see these guys run a green flag run, please. I'm going to ask very nicely.
Please and thank you.
And you know something, Jeremy? I'm not going to lie. I don't really know who to really sit here and put money on for the remainder of this race. I mean, we've seen comers and goers all night long, and I mean all night long, because it's been Nate Lesko, Brandon Findlay, Nick Biddy, Wheeler, Hedgecock. Everybody up inside this top 5 has been at the back of the field. Everybody has at least been up inside the top 5, I feel like, tonight for sure. I feel like the only driver I haven't talked about all night long is Christian Marcelli in that 104 machine at 18th. And shout out Christian, because I don't even think I've said his name at all tonight. I haven't even seen him involved in anything. He's got some damage, I know, but I haven't really called his name out. So shout out to Christian. Shout out to you for being the least called on Jason Rockefeller driver of the night.
There you go. I got my money on the 56 with the money shift. That's where my money's going. Green flag back in the air once more. And this time, the leader, Nate, did not get the clearance like he usually does. The 94, who's been involved in a couple of wrecks, is going to match the momentum through turn 1. Can't hold on to turn 2. Nate, let's go back to where he has been in the first 40 laps of this. And would you believe it, Jason? Would you believe it? We have another caution. The 87 this time is going to get hooked by the 42 Clay Sampson, going for a ride off a turn 2 exit. CJ Gates is going to give him the old left rear shuffle into the outside wall.
Yeah, and Gates, no, straight up, yeah. Gates just unfortunately puts a little too much throttle into it, doesn't know how to turn left, and just gets in the left rear of the 87, turns him right around there up into the wall. Collects the 11 machine as well. Jamel Love, you see right there, back behind. Too much throttle, not enough brake for the 42 machine. Turns the 87 around, bounces off right in front of the field, collects Chris Cash. Other drivers as well involved, I believe, but most of them do get through unscathed. But the 11 tries to get down to the bottom, and then pow, hard up into the wall. outside nose damage for sure on that right front fender. But not only that, but definitely the yep, and he hit the tow button. Don't blame me, bud. So the 11 machine will go to the garage. Done for the evening, and it's unfortunate because Jamel Love had some shining moments tonight. Early exit, or rather not early exit, but late exit for him. Still same top 5 up at the front of the field. You have Lesko, Finley, Biddy, Willard, Bowling all the way up there. We should get the one to go, not this time, maybe next time, maybe this time. I'm not too sure, but it looks like Nate Lesko is very adamant on choosing the outside lane here for the restart. And we'll see in just a minute. Some drivers do pit there. Al Likens in the 6th car from 17th on back to pit. And we still are under caution.
Shout out to probably the best sponsor of the evening, Brez Coffee Co. Get your caffeine fix from brezcoffeeco.com with a great selection of amazing coffee ground flavors from mild to dark. Special our flavor, the Nerditudes branded flavor, sugary sweet joysticks. It pairs well with a lot of creamers. Very tasty. And if you use Super Nerd at checkout, it'll save you 10% off. And yeah, Brez Coffee Co. These guys are going to need some after this race. This has been a very long, we're almost 2 hours live here on the YouTube side of things and Twitch. Appreciate you guys for popping in and watching, even through the thick and thin of this race in particular. We got 2 live on the Twitch side, still got 19 or 20 on YouTube. So thank you again, guys, for watching race number 6 at Nashville.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be a barn burner, wreck burner, whatever you want to call it here for the remainder of these last 20 laps when we restart. So we should get the one to go right here this time by, and we do, I believe. So it'll be Nate Lesko, Brandon Finley, Nick Biddy, Austin Wheeler, Tyler Bowling, your top 5, top 10, Bryce Hedgecock, Braxton DeWeese, Jeremiah Nelson, and you have Eddie Baker, Dylan Picklesheimer there. I believe that is your top 10 for sure. There's the 42 machine of CJ Gates. Gets that EOL deserved through turn number 2. That contact to the field sent one driver around. He'll start at the rear end of the field. But Jeremy, I don't know if anybody's going to have anything for Nate Lesko here. I feel like even though he's only been involved in one incident tonight, I feel like he has the least amount of damage out of everybody.
Yeah. That's probably true. That is probably true. As the pit report or the patch-up report's gotten so linked, it doesn't show all the damage. So I would be curious to know the exact number that would list. It would probably flood from the vertical the whole entire screen at this point. But here we go. This is a Bristol race if I haven't seen one before. Pace car down, and for the 17th time, we're gonna fly this green flag in the air. 20 laps to go. Green flag is out. A little bit of a checkup there on the outside. 48 of Austin Wheeler did not get going the way he was hoping to. As the 20 breaks out, 2 car lengths over the 32 and 94 as they start shuffling through the field. Oh, the 18 going around, and we're going to have another caution, boys. Bryce Hedgecock, solo self-spin, all by his lonesome, and thankfully no one else is collected in this one. And that's it. 1 car around, and 1 more caution, Jason, and we're at that number 18 I'm talking about on this car right here. I've been calling 18 cautions, and the 18's number is yellow. So is there a coincidence to this?
I don't know, but I tell you what, I don't really know who to blame on that one. I mean, the 18 looked like he held his line. The 84 kind of looked like he held his line too. We'll see from another angle, maybe.
Is there contact? It might be.
Yeah,
contact,
no, there definitely is contact.
Okay.
I see the 18 coming down, but through 1 and 2, take a look at it real good right here. This is a great camera angle. And you see the 80, yeah, 84 is just coming off the bottom. Looks like a little bit of net code. Look,
yeah.
I think a little bit of net code definitely helped that 18 go around there. I think definitely avoidable, no doubt about it. I mean, at the end of the day, though, we'll take a look right here. We'll take a look maybe from the Boozy Jerky cam. I'm not too sure. Looks like we're looking at the right rear. There we go. I don't know. It's tough to tell.
I don't like throwing netcode out directly. I think even without the netcode, it still would have gone around because the 84 did shift up quite a bit there. with that contact. There's no doubt about it. There was going to be a wreck in some shape or form with that move, but definitely with the air pocket there, definitely doesn't help that situation for the 18.
Yeah, definitely not. And now we find ourselves under the 17th cost of the night. Jeremy, over or under 18? That's the question. You say 18? Do we go over or do we stay at 18?
I think we're at 18.
18 even? Do you think we're going to get more?
I'm 100 laps committed into this one. Where Dustin's gonna go
19.
The Price is Right me and go 18 and a penny.
I'm going to say 20.
I'm gonna say 20. We got
For Nate Lesko in that 20. I
18
think that Nate
laps to
Lesko
go.
wins.
He's calling 3 more cautions in a 20 lap span. Not even 20 laps. I hope not, man. We are doing things here.
Yeah, doing things is the
Almost
truth
2 hours
for sure.
2 hours live. I mean, what else can we talk about? We're getting pretty good at these restarts, huh? We're getting our 18th practice one in this evening. 1 lap to go this time. Bye-bye. The top 5 will be Nate Lesko, Brandon Finley, Nick Biddy, Tyler Bowling, Austin Wheeler, which, for the most part, most of these restarts have been these 5 drivers. Tyler's been very consistent. Austin very consistent. Nick Biddy's been the only one that's been flopping up or down in the scoring pylon. Brandon Finley's been involved in a couple of big wrecks. He's found his way back up into second place for the last 4 or 5 restarts. So at the end of the day, it's all been these 5 drivers plus a couple extra that have been cycling through.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has cycled out from the back to the front to the back, you name it. I mean, Nate Lesko found himself, right where he's at the start of this race. And about 100 laps ago, he wasn't there. And now the fact he's found himself there, it's crazy. Shout out, though, if you want to talk about a story, talk about Tyler Bowling in that number 15 machine. I'm sure he's been involved in an incident like everybody else is tonight. He's restarting 4th. I'm hoping that Tyler can finish top 3. It would be a great story for him. The fact that he's up 21 spots from where he started, it's a great story as it is. I think he has the opportunity to finish top 5 here for sure. Top 3 would be great.
Green flag back in the air here. And here we go. Nate does not get the start this time as well as he's been in the past. And the 32's all over the back bumper. Here comes the 94. Can the 94 Brandon Finley do something with the 20 and going into turn number 3? He's only got 1 car length separation. Driving to turn number 3 here. He's going to go to the middle lane. He washes up the track a little tight. Does he get the corner exit that he wants? No, not so much. 20 with a greater of the 2 exits. And we got 1 car on pit road in the back, the 84 Eddie Baker. He's going to take his drive-through penalty for the 2nd wreck of the evening from himself in that last wreck.
And can you believe it? We've made more than a lap and a half under green. Now 15 laps to go. Oh. Nate Lesko. Oh, and as I say that, they nearly wrecked right there. Here comes Blake Trawick to the bottom of that's the 5 machine of Bill Hagan. And then right back behind Bill, you have Raymond Hanneman, other drivers as well throughout the field. Now 14 laps to go. Lesko has pulled out to about a 0.15 second gap over Brandon Finley. But don't count out Finley. I think that Finley might have what it takes to take down Nate Lesko here. You see the 84 machine of Baker going to play a huge factor here in front of everybody for Dirty Airwise. Oh, and I believe we got a wreck in the back, and we do. 18th caution of the evening, and that is going to be the number 1 of Dana Ryan going around in 3 and 4.
Hey, Chihuahua, man. Here we go. There's number 18. Let's see if we can get to your number 20. Hopefully not, but that's going to be a loop-de-loo for number 1. Blake Trawick involved. 2 cars in total with damage on this one. So EOL is going to go to the number 1, which I can't remember if that was his first or second caution. I feel like that was his second. You saw the 56. That was a little bit of an arrow, maybe. No contact, but like the way the 56 drove in so deep, it might have upset that car just a little bit off the spoiler.
Yeah, maybe. It's so hard to tell. There's been so many different incidents tonight, and for the one machine of Dana Ryan, he's been involved in so many incidents tonight, like everybody else has too. And now we're gonna restart uh, with less than 10 to go. We got some drivers coming to pit road right now. Here comes Nick Kaufman in the 95 machine. You also have Christian Marcelli in the 104 machine. There you go, Christian. Said your name tonight without having to point it out. Raymond Hanneman as well in the 85. Then you have the number 1, obviously, Dana Ryan caused that last pit, or rather that last caution. There's the number 25 or 29, David Mayberry, another driver I haven't really talked about tonight either. It's only a handful of pit stops, but just for a little 4-1-1 here for tonight. So coming into tonight, the pit stops look to be, if we ran under green, it looked to go about 48 to 52 laps, right? We have had guys stay out. We are on lap 139 working it. There are guys who last pitted at lap 91. We are nearly approaching that, and we have run under caution for so many laps. They don't even have to pit. Nate Lesko, Nick Biddy, Brandon Finley, all these guys who pit around lap 91 to 100, like Austin Wheeler, they do not have to pit. And there's your AI Chief pit stop report from where everybody pitted last and what they took. Brandon Finley only took repairs. It's just crazy, the fact that he's in second right now.
Yeah, I agree with that statement there as the pace car continues to drive on the apron there on the front straightaway. And we're going to get a restart with 11 laps to go. No, 10 laps to go. My apologies. 10 laps to go. 10 lap shootout. Can we keep the bumpers clean? We had a lot of self-spins recently. The tires on pit road have just been expelled. I think no one has tires left. I hope not anyways. Jason, we're setting records here. I know Nerd TV has an overall caution record of like 25 or 30 at a truck race through a 250 lap event, but closing up on 20 at Nashville is bonkers to me. But here we go. We're gonna see what happens on this restart.
Yeah, we're gonna find out for sure. We're gonna restart with 10 laps to go. Nate Lesko didn't really shoot out of a cannon this previous restart. Brandon Finley was right there. I think that Brandon Finley in that K-Pop Demon Hunters car can easily get past this 20 machine. He's just got to have the right restart.
Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Looks like everyone's getting a pretty good start this time through the field as I cycle through on my end here. A lot of space this time. Hopefully that remains true for the final laps of this race. The 94. Brandon Finley trying for the first time to pass. Oh, nope. Here we go. Caution number 19 to the back. Corner number 2. And here we go. We're going to... Dustin Loxton doesn't get paid enough for tonight. Doesn't get paid enough ever. But more so than ever tonight, he's going to press that rewind button for the 100th time, I feel like. There's multiple cars involved in this one, and it's the 42. Going to collect the number 5 of Bill Hagan. The 42, CJ Gates, caused the wreck in turn 2 with the 84 about, 20 or 30 laps prior. This will be his second one, and he'll be given a penalty, but he just backed out. So DNF for the 42 here tonight, so no official penalty will be handed out to him.
Yeah, and we saw this race with 27 cars. Natasha Bedouin, it's funny, Natasha Bedouin, only car that did not start in 28th, only car to not have a singular point, I think, tonight. So shout out to Natasha for not starting tonight, for sure.
Listen, the only driver to not make car contact is Natasha Bedouin in
the pace car.
28th place. I guess that's true. That's a Days of Thunder reference right there, right? Hit everything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no clip on the base car.
Dustin playing technical rules here. There's no clipping on the car. Okay, Natasha is being spared the only car because the pace car does not count. So pace car and Natasha, the only two cars not making a 0 1, 2, or 4X incident point here this evening. And all right, so Jason, you might get this 20th caution. One more, and it's yours, bud.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. No doubt about it. Just want to thank all my sponsors. Got to thank my mom, my sister, everybody that supports me on this Nerd TV broadcast. We really had to think about it mathematically. It's been a tough one. Math has not been my strong suit, but a little bit of practice, a little bit of adjustments, took some air pressure out there late in the game. Made a track bar adjustment late in the going, steering ratio, everything like that. Great number 12 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Can't thank everybody enough. So hopefully we'll find everybody next week and hopefully get it done again.
Could you imagine going to your math teacher and you finally get a good grade and they go, "What did you do different this time to get such a good grade?" And you go, "Yeah, I took some air pressure adjustment, took some wedge out of the left rear, and I got a good grade." And you know, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, I might have to do that after spring break when I go for my exam. So that I might have to do that. Might tell me, "Hey, why'd you do so good on this one compared to the last one?" Add some grill tape. Took a round of wedge out in the rear. Added some track bar. Put a little bit of pressure in. About 2 pumps up on the right front. Just want to have some drive off. Put some right rear in too as well. Maybe added the right side rubber. Just really good drive off all around, and was able to get through and get that B+.
Number 5, that B+, brother. The number 5, Bill Hagan, outs DNF due to incident point count exceeding 17. So that's another DNF added to the lineup, and I imagine some of these other drivers are close to that ranking with all these cautions. So if there's one more, let's see if another driver does drop to the incident point counter, because I don't get that stat in real time, but I'm sure somebody does somewhere. And here we go. We're going to go back to green flag racing on lap 145, 6 laps to go. Right now, 19 cautions is the count. Do we get to the 20? Well, I hope not, but we're getting there anyways based on averages. We're there. Jason's air pressure adjustment's working fantastic for him. Green flag
look at
back
this!
in the air. Oh, that 20 not getting a good start. And for the first time, Brandon Finley going to take the race lead.
And talk about an upset if this could happen for Brandon Finley. He catches the 20 slipping, and there we go. I win. Got to thank everybody.
We can't even make turn 2, Jason. We literally cannot make turn 2 the past 3 cautions. Can't make past the back straight away.
Okay, I'm going to say something right now. I know the officials are listening. I know the race admins are listening. I'm going to tell you this right now. And I know I'm going to take off my broadcaster cap for a second. Just run single file restart, please. I'm begging you. I'm so tired of watching these guys wreck off turn 2. If we can't make turn 2, it's an embarrassing move. Seriously, we've had 20 cautions for 146 laps. It's unacceptable. Please just run single file restarts. It's crazy. There's no reason these guys can sit here and go caution free for some races and then have 20 cautions in 146 laps at over a mile track. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
And there's 2 wrecks that time around. The one was the 12 and the 56. That was the main one that we're watching now. But then right behind him, the number 5, or sorry, the 3, Robert Hottenbach, he also gets turned by the 95 and Nick Kaufman at the same exact time, where the Nick just drives into him. So I don't know who we're going to put the caution on, because they have 2 dumping runs here. As you see the 95 making contact to Robert. We don't know where the caution came from. It could have been from the 3, more than likely over the 56 move. So I don't know. And there's a little bit of beef segment, the 3 and the 95. They're chatting it up here. Dustin queued up. We got the beef. Finally queued it up. We should have done this a long time ago, but the 3 and the 95 are hashing it out there after that little dump and run incident.
At this point, this beef that's in that package there with the Nerd TV barcode slapped on it probably cost less than $20.99, like the 20 cautions we've had tonight.
Go back to a half a lap off of turn 4. This is where the conversation started. Of course, that was the wreck. And let's see if we can get this instant off of turn 4 here. Here we go. This will be fun to watch.
Oh, that's a suspension. That is a damn suspension if I've ever seen one. For
I'm
both the
curious
95 and the 3, maybe.
because Nick Coffin was the one who turned the 3 of Robert Hottenbach, and then the 95 then retaliates on his own mistake.
Yeah, yikes.
I'm super confused by this call
I-
here by Nick Coffin. I know tempers are running severely high right now for a lot of drivers, including us in broadcast. We're not happy about 20 cautions, but yeah, they're just
You think?
we need some ice packs out here. We need to group back up here and
I don't
there
know
was
if
the
Kaufman
initial-
thinks that the 3 came down on him, because that is clear as
Maybe.
day. The 3 did not come down on him at all. The 95 straight up ran right into the back. The 3 was diamonding the corner. The 95 just kept going up. There is no doubt about that. I don't understand that. If I'm Nick Kaufman, I'm embarrassed. I would just forfeit. I'd leave straight up. That's unacceptable.
We're gonna do it again. Here we go.
Maybe.
2 laps to go on this restart. Unofficial green white checkered. And Nate did not get a restart that he wanted. Brandon Finley took the race lead, and so this might be an upset here in the making, as you said before we had that caution again. I guess the question mark is, can we make turn 2 complete this time around? The past 3 restarts have not made it there. And here we go. Pace car going to drop down once again. And can we do this? Green flag back in the air for the 21st time here this Oh, no.
You gotta be kidding me.
No. Nate Lesko going for the trifecta, 3 races in a row. He's going to be the latest victim to tire spin as he just collects the 32 of Nick Biddy. We got to go Oakley visor cam. Well, I don't think it was a money shift. I think it was a tire spin, but actually maybe some contact. Maybe maybe not even. No,
maybe not. I was about to say I don't see
Maybe
that
not.
being contact. That car turned right abruptly, like just like he had been. Let's look at the Oakley visor cam from the
Yeah.
20 here after this.
We're gonna see tire spin.
Nope. Yeah, definitely tire spin or a money. I want to see if we can get a look at the Oakley visor cam for Nate Lesko here, and you see going on it. All right, he's in first gear. Yep. Second, just wheel spin. Yep, wheel spin.
Braxton DeWeese did. That first gear start is 50-50 chance of tire spin, it seems like. As soon as you get to the second gear, the gearbox doesn't like that high gear second, and it just kicks the tires around.
Yeah, and that's part of it. This concrete track, there's not enough grip in this track right now with how cold it is. You know what? We haven't even taken a look at it in a while. I want to take a look right now at the track conditions. Let's take a look here at the weather report for the time being. So there you go. Look at that track temperature. That is 73 degrees. And yes, you might think, oh, that's like a beach day probably at my local beach on the East Coast. Nah, that's really cold for a track temp. You are used to seeing track temperatures above 85 to 90 plus degrees. It's 73 degrees right now. Air temp's only 66. So the track temp just barely almost 10 degrees hotter, not even 7 degrees hotter, 8 degrees, whatever. I can't even math right now. My mind's still mind-boggled right now from this race. But, there's not enough grip. And a concrete racetrack does not provide the grip that it wants to when it is getting cooler. And the cooler it gets, the less grip you're going to have at these racetracks. It's just been like that all night long. We've seen time and time after time again. It's been restart after restart. Guys don't have the grip that they have on the restarts. We've seen wheel spin. We've seen brake lock up. We've seen contact. We've seen guys money shift. It's been a consistent factor all night long.
We have 3 green white checkered attempts, Jason. Not to throw that in there, but we've yet to complete the second corner for 4 consecutive cautions. We might see the expulsion of all 3 of these green white checkers at this rate. This is on number 1 of schedule 3. And so, don't know, man. We don't know. I got a report that it's 24 incident points will set you for DNF, not the standard 17 on an official server. It's 24. And right now we have the number 1 of Dana Ryan sitting at 20, and the 84 of Eddie Baker also sitting on 20. So their next 4 X car contact incident point will result in a DNF for those 2 drivers, potentially, if they do find one more car to make contact with. Christian Marcielli, by the way, your call out for least amount of call outs for the night, has backed out of the race, manually disconnected. Goes Christian.
Don't blame him.
Yep, me neither, man. Me neither. Can Austin Wheeler squeak this one out? Nate Lesko has backed out of the session after that tire spin. Brandon Finley, P1. Austin Wheeler, second place. That is your front row this time. Tyler Bowling, Al Likens in row number 2. In row 3, you'll find Braxton DeWeese, Jeremiah Nelson. Here we go. Pace car down for the 22nd start of the race. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, and green flag back out in the air. Brandon Finley, another great restart. He's got Al Likens right behind him. We've got less than half the field remaining. 2 laps to go into 1 and 2. Likens high up out of the groove into the marbles through 1 and 2. And the 48 will clear himself, and around goes the 21 and also the 15. Will they stay green? No caution for the time being. They stay green. They are past the bottom of the racetrack, and it looks like nope, and there we go. Caution will come out. And I thought Brandon Finley was going to come home a winner, possibly, with the caution coming out. Jeremy, this is going to be the second attempt at overtime, I think.
Yeah. Let me just back this up here. Race control manually through the caution. What a NASCAR call that was. They were coming off at turn 4, and race control could have let this thing go to the white flag. He could have done it. He could have done the virtual fans some grace. But no, off of turn 4, race control throws the manual yellow flag well after the 2-car incident happens. I know you got to stick to the rule book, so I can't blame them. But man, we could have just had that thing ended. But what a hard contact there. Jeremiah Nelson slams 2 of the faster cars of tonight, the 15 and the 21. Both decent amount of damage done to their stuff there in the infield of the back straightaway.
I just feel really bad for the 15, having such a great race. You know, I talked about Tyler Bowling. He's only got 1 top 10 so far this season. He's found himself up there. Hasn't really been involved in that many incidents from what I know, just based off my memory from tonight. To be taken out like that off of a clear, off turn 2, you know you're not clear. Why the hell would you keep coming up the track? You're just going to clear yourself right in front of the field, take out a couple of cars that are really good. Inexcusable. There's no excuse for it. And there's a 27 machine. Steve Harden, I believe, brought out our first or second caution of the evening tonight, and Steve Harden is going to get our plus 1 lap extra life, obviously. So great for Steve to be back now on the lead lap, I believe. Crazy. How this race has turned out, and now Brandon Finley is going to try to hold him off for, I believe, 1 more restart. Jeremy, I think we're coming up to our 3rd attempt at a green-white checkered, so this is our final attempt coming up here, and this K-Pop Demon Hunters car is looking to go to victory lane with Austin Wheeler behind him, Braxton DeWeese, Al Likens, Nick Kaufman. Just so many drivers who have been involved in so many incidents tonight that are still inside the top 5.
Yeah. We had Nick Kaufman actually jump on our YouTube. He said he had some tire spin from scrubbing the tires from that 3 incident a little bit ago. Hopefully we don't have any more of those moments underneath caution here, as we got the lights off, 1 to go, second to final restart attempt potentially here, as we're on a green-white checkered attempt 2 of 3. And not much changing there inside the top 5. Mr. Picklesimer himself has been a very up and down day for that car, number 12. I think he's been as low as close to 20th. High is currently right now. Up there currently in 6th. I think he's been in the top 3, I think, once or twice. So got a decent chance here. Here comes the 6 trying to file back into his spot, Al Likens. There he goes. Gets himself back in front of the 12 there, starting in P4, goes 6. And, yep, second attempt. Here we go. Let's see what happens on this restart. Pace car down. Throttle's at the ready once more. And green flag back in the air here again. A little bit of check up there mid-pack. The 94, the number 6, both break out. Nice little 2-car separation momentarily. 48 bounced off the apron. He slides up the tracks and open the door for Braxton DeWeese. If he can get there, here comes Nick Kaufman, 3 wide up the middle. Goes at 8. Braxton, he's going to have to back it down here. Possibly we stay green flag to turn number 3. We still hold 3 wide here. The 12 goes super wide. And we're finally going to get to the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by absolutely nobody. 2.5 hours into the broadcast, we finally see the light here.
And Brandon Finley has played out these restarts just perfectly, holding off the field, who continuously tries to throw jabs at each other. Al Likens, in just one of his first few starts in the league, going to come home P2 if he hang on one more corner. But Brandon Finley coming off turn 4 is looking to see the checkered flag here tonight in Nashville.
And Brandon Finley, I'd like to know his incident car count there. For a couple hard wrecks, that car has been beaten, battered, and bruised, and we finally get the win settled. The winner, Brandon Finley, picks up his first checker flag of the season here. And your top 3 is Al Likens in second, and Austin Wheeler finishes thing in P3.
Yeah, great job by Brandon Finley there to come home with the win. Last pit on lap 96. We went over 155 laps there, I believe it was. Crazy, the fact that the guy who stayed out as long as he did, only guy to last pit at double digits compared to triple digits, is going to come home in the winner. But Brandon Finley played the restarts great. It only took a couple restarts prior, able to come home P1 after starting P2 on a restart a couple weeks, or rather a couple restarts ago. So good job for Brandon.
We're watching the 94 burn it down here. We're gonna take a second here, make sure we got our, I think we're still live. So, all right, here we go. Here's the unofficial results. And Jason, nope, I think we're back. There we go. We got it. Dustin lost his connection for a second. I was going to cover it, but we got our graphic back up and running. So Brandon Finley, P1 here tonight. Al Likens, Austin Wheeler, Nick Kaufman, and Braxton DeWeese is your top 5. 6 through 10, Christopher Cash, Dylan Picklesheimer, Raymond Hanneman, Bryce Hedgecock, and Nick Biddy is the top 10.
Top 20, you'll find Robert Hottenbach in the number 3, Clay Sampson, Steve Harden, David Mayberry, Jeremiah Nelson. Top 15, Tyler Bowling, Eddie Baker, Blake Trawick, Christian Marcelli in 19th. And then Nate Lesko, guy who came from the back, or rather from the front to the back, to the front, back to the back, did not finish tonight. He'll round out your top 20 tonight.
And the rest of the field, Dana White, Bill Hagan, CJ Gates, Jamel Love, Mitch Diamond, Raymond Bell, Tyler Robertson, and then Natasha Bedoin with a did not start. The safest driver award goes to her. As we are going to get our top 3. I think we got Austin and Brandon. So we're going to do one question to get everybody out here real quick. And then we'll set ourselves up for a nice Friday. Hopefully everyone enjoys that. But here we go. Here's your top 3. Austin Wheeler, we made it. How'd you make it to top 3?
Are we sure we made it? I don't know if it's over yet.
I don't know, man. I feel like... so just give us your thoughts overall on how you're able to maintain the top 3. We don't want to hold you too much longer because we're deep into this race, but overall opinions of tonight and how the car was running.
Yeah, I practiced the wrong thing this week. I should have practiced pace laps instead of practicing at full speed. That's crazy. I hope we can get this stuff cleaned up. We're gonna do some changes and try to get it all straight. But what green flag we did run was pretty decent. I thought we had a good car all night. It was just got in that one incident where I got wrecked off of 2 and was trying to recover, and I felt like it was bumper cars the rest of the night pretty much. But got some points out of it at least. So I guess we'll go on next week.
Yeah, I was glad you're able to recover from that, man. You got blindsided off the turn 2 exit and it threw you deep into the infield. And great job recovering from that. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, all the guys in the league, we got some cleaning up to do, but hopefully everybody will figure it out and work on it together. Smoky Mountain, Sim Racing, my teammates, and you guys for broadcasting. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You gotcha. Austin Wheeler, P3 tonight. Congratulations. We'll see you next week, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You got it. Al Likens next on the docket here. Position number 2, given to the car, number 6 here this evening. Al, we made it, man. 7th to 2nd. You've been up in the top 10 all night long. How'd you able to lock in 2nd place after all those cautions?
Because lucky break on the cautions and really good restarts. Just really got luckier at the end to be where I was.
And just a quick secondary question. That car seemed really tight there, especially off of turn 2. Was just the setup just wasn't having the grip that you were expecting there? Because a lot of the times, not just you, but a lot of others were just really washing up on corner exit turn 2.
Yeah, I just couldn't roll the center. If I didn't hit the marks absolutely dead perfect every time, it would wash up, and it's just way too tight. Need to be a little more freer, but
yeah. 10-4 on that, man. Al, congrats on 2nd place there. Job well done, all things considered here tonight. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
yeah, I'd like to thank Slightly Dangerous Racing and the league for having me, and y'all do a good job on the broadcast, and I'd like to thank God and my family.
All right, man. Appreciate your time. 2nd place finisher, Al Likens there in car number 6. We'll see you next week, man.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. And then a race winner here as we get to the Victory Fuel Victory Lane scene. The driver, the number 94, who had a couple of decent wrecks, able to recover for the victory here tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, fellas. How are those yellow flags up in the booth for a while?
Man, let's just erase that memory and move on to next week. There's so much material you can talk about before it gets redundant, but you had a shocker with Nate Lesko. Nate had been controlling everything. He got back to the race lead. I thought it was his. And then he missed a mark on a restart, and you took the lead from him. How much of a surprise was that to you?
This is a shout out to teammates, right? We always work together to count down to restarts because we want to maximize the amount of, how many IWP guys we have up front. And it just so happened he kind of slipped on that throttle, I think, and I just happened to nail it right at our go mark. So, I appreciate him racing clean. It really wasn't anything. And for what it's worth, I want to put it on the record. When I had the lead, I also followed suit and counted down the restart for us. So I played fair. But no, really, it really just came down to my teammate being a good teammate, because he absolutely could have just not said anything, muted himself, muted us, and locked in. So credit to Nate there.
Great teamwork, absolutely. How many incident points does that car have? Because at one point I thought that car was toast.
Oh, man. I went through a lot. I certainly, 13 total. I self-spun early. That one was on me. Me and Biddy got into it, but I think that was a racing incident. And shout out to Biddy later in the race. He let me buy racing clean. So shout out to the 32 for that. I want to justify myself. I did not realize I was 3 wide. The 87 had disappeared on my screen. So I thought we were 2 wide. I didn't even see him. And then when he reappeared, I freaked out and let go of turning left and turned right into the 1. So, but I think really came down to those cautions helped with the damage repair and just not letting myself mentally get out of it. Just keep working back, keep working through, staying clean of everything and passing cars.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Congratulations on the first checkered flag of the season. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Shout out the K-pop Demon Hunters car and the theme nights that we have. Shout out you guys for staying on a really, really long and frustrating broadcast. And then shout out to the IWP guys. The great teamwork is the reason why we're able to win. I think this might be our 3rd win of the year, 3rd or 4th. So shout out those guys. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, great job by the team there for sure. Winner tonight, Brandon Finley, car number 94. Congratulations again, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that was it. That is your post-race interviews, top 3 down, and we are 2.5 hours into this broadcast, so we're going to go ahead and shut it down, Jason. I guess we don't need to recap because recap's already recapped itself 100 times over. But here we go. Thank you guys. YouTube, Twitch, there's some chats going on in there, as always, so thank you for that. I love the Twitch interaction, especially. Let's continue to get the 3-ish viewers consecutive on that end. Helps our production quite a bit, actually. So, but you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on, all that good stuff. And we will catch you live Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern for the OTSS Select Series as they continue on with their inaugural season for the second to final race of the year. You guys have a good night.
Touchscreen and loud in the different range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber moves roll with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Fight to fight, we live the speed. The TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky.